spoons with greenish skin. So close your eyes and you will find that you've arrived in Frightenstein. Perhaps the Count will find a way to make his monster work today. For if he solves this monster mania, he can return to Transylvania. So welcome where the sun won't shine, to the castle of Count Frightenstein.
Blah, blah, it is me, the Comic Relief Crusader, and ready here for another tempting, titillating Tuesday on this gallant Halloween. Hello, everybody out there. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Okay. Hey, everybody. It's Titillating Tuesdays here. Enter the Geekosphere, episode 56. And I want to say hello to everybody that made it so far, whether you're on YouTube or on Rumble. So hello to everybody on Rumble that's watching. And to everybody on YouTube, I want to say hello to Tim the Enchanter. Happy Taco Tuesday to you, Tim the Enchanter. And Killer Rabbit from Space. Greetings, humans. Tim tasted good, and you ate him, you magnificent bastard, you. So, howdy, howdy, howdy. It is Halloween. It is time to go out and grab a whole bunch of candy, make yourself fat, and enjoy going out, putting on a costume. And let's welcome who we have here today, shall we?
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits?
Admiral Teague.
By the pricking of my thumb, here comes a pundit who's really fucking dumb. It's Admiral Teague.
Yay! Twice.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Don't go chomping down on those apples people get you till you look very carefully at them, and have your parents look very carefully at the wrappers of the candy, because I got some this morning and no one had put any drugs in it. I had to put the drugs in them myself before I ate it.
Ah, super. So no razor blades as well.
Oh, I got plenty of those.
Full shave. Oh, okay, good enough.
Yeah, I shaved really close this morning to wear my Starfleet uniform.
And the classic geeky left this time.
Clickety clackety.
Ooh,
I'm eating an O. Henry bar. I stole it from a kid. He was just walking by. They're already out here in the East Coast, and I was like, give me that, and I took it. So there, I'm having this O. Henry bar.
Nice. Did you do a valuted haymaker on him?
Yes.
Good for you. Never stop.
Huzzah! Left hooker.
I have 4 Snickers lined up in a row. I'm going to eat them during the show, so I should be progressively more and more happy.
Okay.
Chocolate does that. Yum.
And a nice H.R. Giger picture as well.
Good. Bravo to you for getting that one.
Well, yes, of course. And also welcoming Pop Culture Republic. How's it going, dude?
Hey, going well. Made it just in the nick of time.
You did, and you're just fashionably on time.
That's right.
Lovely. Good for you, sir. How was everybody's weekend? Everybody ready to go out and snack on a bunch of candy, pretend you're like 6 years old, and
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm only 5'6", so technically I probably can pretend I'm a kid.
I've got to jump in. I've got to jump in at 6:30 with the Crips. I've been working on this all year, tagging up and slashing car tires. I should be a full-blown Crip by nightfall, because as we all know, Halloween is gang initiation day in New York City and other major cities, and every teacher's least favorite freaking day.
Oh, there you go. Classic.
My heart goes out to you, teacher. Come on, who didn't throw a water balloon at their school or some eggs or something on Halloween, right? Who didn't pull a prank in school?
Hey, I taught for 2 years as an assistant, and I thought it was fun. They have the kids and come and
I like the part where the kids didn't show up for school. I taught in high school when I did it. Spent the whole day like breaking up the rest of New York City. I was like, I'm in the only safe place. There are no children here.
See,
Ah,
mine
there
were
you
in
go.
kindergarten, so I didn't have to worry. They weren't speaking back yet. So
Joe Rabbit
Mhm.
from space, the first time in a while. Snow on the ground for Halloween in Winnipeg. Damn,
Ooh,
dude.
wow.
Yeah. Well,
I just
we already
want to
got it.
say,
We beat
Burr.
you.
kill a rabbit. I celebrate every time your hockey team wins because I like the New York Jets, and we don't get to celebrate that enough. So, like on a Wednesday night when I'm running around screaming "Jets win, Jets win," people in New York are like, "What's with this fucking guy?" But I'll take
And
it.
hell,
Get
Gap
it.
After Dark. Nice to see
Hi,
you,
Gap.
Gap After Dark.
Hey there.
And the illustrious, life-saving Wendy Trauma Warrior that's here. As usual, I'm at work and lurking. Awesome. Well, for your
Wendy, we hope
patience-
that people behave. Sorry, we hope that people behave today so that you don't have the busiest or most exciting day. And guys, this is a bad day to shove things in your ass. I mean, the trauma workers are busy. It's going to be, don't do it today.
So Wendy might have an influx of tons of people coming in with stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, don't shove things in your ass today. You'll be in pain for a lot longer.
Exactly. Because
By the way, can I say something that's going to make people mad?
Maybe.
I think I just did, but go ahead.
So, when you're considering Pop, you made it here on the nick of time. Speaking of Nick, we're going to tie that in badly. Nick Fury. I finished Secret Invasion.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to say this right now.
Okay. Okay.
It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm sorry, guys. It's not the best.
What
I'm
did
not going to
you
watch it
spend
again.
time-
I'm not
Okay.
going to watch it again. I'm not going to watch it again. Hell no.
No.
Were your parents,
What?
were your
It's not-
parents executed in front of you in Cambodia for wearing
Like-
glasses? I mean, what do you mean it's not the worst thing you saw in your life? That was fucking horrible.
No, Flash. That was garbage. I wanted
Oh,
to
Flash. Yes, yes. So if
But
you
I
if
don't
you
know, like-
use Flash as a standard, yes.
Yeah, like to me, I never read the comic. That's one series I never got to read. So I was going with
Flash?
what's going on as its own standalone. In the end, Nick comes out on top, and I didn't hate it. It's not great. I'm not going to say anything. And
Well,
Amelia
remember,
Clark is hot as
Nick-
hell.
She is hot, but they nerf every woman on Disney and in Star Wars and the MCU. So what do they do to Amelia Clark? She's like, I will assume the form of a beautiful woman and wear a shapeless outfit that no one can see my figure in. What was she wearing? Like Tibetan fisherman pants and like a motorcycle jacket? Nice freaking combo, Amelia.
But she wasn't
Yeah.
wearing a costume. She was wearing just regular clothes, though, too. She wasn't.
She was wearing clothes that no one would
Mhm.
wear down the street, even though you could. She had Thai fisherman's pants and a mini leather biker jacket. She
Why
looked
the
like a
fuck
But
would
idiot.
to the forgetting, this is Russia that she's in, so they get exactly
But,
important.
Like I said,
clothes.
won't watch it again, but I didn't hate it. I was like, it's like one of those meh, whatever. So
I am going to
and
call that
Wendy Trauma
communistic, by the way.
yeah, no doubt.
The
I
air
am gonna
staff
call
are
that
not
communistic
fans
to
of
ugly era.
Halloween. Damn.
Where do they
well,
put the
Wendy,
candy?
I didn't think so. Honestly, I didn't think so. But let's be honest here. That is just the Secret Invasion was beyond terrible. It was beyond terrible.
It wasn't great, definitely. I'm not gonna say that. No.
What did you think of the theme that we should love extremely ugly people?
Hey, everybody needs loving.
Do you have to seek out someone ugly who can look like anyone and be like, instead of looking like Farrah, could you be an ugly, bubbly reptile bitch? You have no true form. I'm insulted that you don't love me for who I am. You don't have a true form.
Yeah, but they
Like, what
they
the
could be
fuck?
amazing at other things.
Ah.
You never know.
Yeah.
But that being said, because as we like to do multiple times as stupid news, and speaking of true forms, and of course it is Halloween, I just kind of saw this like on the Exosphere, and I gotta congratulate this person for the longest disguise humanly possible in anyone's career. That being
Lena
said,
Dunham revealed this goblin from another
close.
world.
it's Buffy St. Marie. That's right,
Oh!
people.
One little,
Buffy
two little,
St.
three
Marie.
little Indians.
That's right. Because apparently there was a news article that came out by the CBC to which it was revealed that Canada's own Buffy St. Marie, who isn't even really Canadian as well, isn't even native.
Yep.
You know,
She's
I just
been
want to say there's a
thinking
lot
it
of people
for
from
I
Mass.
don't know how many years.
I just want to say that thinking you're Native American is a popular delusion in Massachusetts. Elizabeth Warren.
That's right. Because
Yeah.
here on this channel, we have her birth certificate.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is.
And she no
And-
longer lives at that address. Don't go there. But by the way, Hilaire Baldwin supports her ethnicity and says that she's in fact as native as she feels like being.
She was not born in Canada whatsoever. She was born in Massachusetts, in Boston,
So she's
Massachusetts.
not going for her.
And on top of that, Italian. She's Italian.
I'm Italian, so
that?
I'm going to laugh at that one. On behalf of all
No.
Italians, we reject you. You cannot come to any Sons of Italy or Columbus Day celebrations. Bitch!
Her
Maybe she has
father
a
was
I don't know.
her father was Alberto Santamaria, and her mother
That's a very
was
Indian
Winifred.
name. That's the name of the,
Oh, yeah,
that's the name of the
exactly.
ship I first came to America on, was the Santa Maria. Came over with
He
this
was
guy,
an
Chris.
electrician, and she was a housewife. Does not have any percent. She is more white than God. I'm trying to think of her name. The one in the one politician there that was like 100.
Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth
she was like
Warren.
1/1000th.
Yes.
Yeah, guys, just want to just as far as this Native American thing goes, this is the
Yes.
fastest growing ethnicity in the world because it sounds so much more interesting. It's like you get your 23andMe, it's like, what are you? It's like, oh, I'm Native American. How much? Oh, 1/15 of 1%. Like Elizabeth Warren's Native American heritage is well within the margin of error, by the way. I am 900 times more Native American than her. Guess what my percentage is? 900 times higher. 1 to 3%, depending on the month. 3% on a good month. It varies. It goes up and down. I don't know. 23 is not the most. There's the presence of a Native American. I'm sure it was a Cuban dude. But
And
I'm also
Ron.
Egyptian.
But think about it.
What's going on, buddy?
Let's go, man.
If she would have did that today, she would have been canceled so fast.
Yep.
I don't know.
There's
I don't know.
I don't know.
Remember that one woman that identified as black that was working at the DMZ? What was it?
No, she was working for the SPLC.
Yep. Yes.
Rachel Dolezal. Rachel Dolezal. She did get canceled. They finally did say this is ridiculous. You're out of your mind. But she wasn't fired for race impersonation. They were kind enough to fire her for mental illness.
Yeah. So this letter by the Indigenous Women's Collective, that came out just 2 days ago in response to recent revelations calling into question the Indigenous identity of Buffy St. Marie. Because she took St. Marie, from St. Marie, Ontario, right? Yeah. So she took this whole identity. In consideration of recent revelations regarding Buffy St. Marie's claimed Indigenous identity and her 60-plus years of advocacy in Indigenous communities, we wanted to make it the necessary time to consider the allegations carefully, thoughtfully, and responsibly. We express our deepest compassion to everyone impacted by this story. When confronted with uninvited truth, we must address it and search for a healing path forward. We must strive to hold space and support one another to the best of our abilities. Pretenderism, because now we got a new word, pretenderism. Remember that word is an act.
I love it.
It's a cover band that does Pretenders music. They're pretending to be the Pretenders. It's the ultimate Halloween show.
Here we go.
Oh, there you go.
Pretenderism is an act of colonial violence, which can trigger us in very harmful and complicated ways.
Why? What's so complicated or harmful?
Colonial violence perpetuates division within our communities and creates barriers against meaningful engagement and solution-oriented dialogue, particularly when trauma is triggered. Oh, it's triggered! We have reviewed the CBC investigative report entitled Who is the Real Buffy St. Marie? We also reviewed this episode investigating Buffy St. Marie's claim to Indigenous ancestry. And on the CBC, well, pretty much the same thing anyway. CBC's Fifth Estate, which is a news program up here in Canada, based on the overwhelming evidence presented, we believe that Buffy St. Marie engaged in a great deception regarding her origin story as an Indigenous.
She's a great pretender, all right.
Survivor. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm the great softly tender. This
Smoking
deception,
the peace pipe and talking shit. Sorry.
this deception allowed her to benefit from a very deliberate and false narrative that misled thousands of Indigenous youth, adults, and most tragically, Indigenous survivors of colonial harm. Oh God, this colonial harm bullcrap. We acknowledge that Buffy St. Marie was traditionally adopted in the Piapat family 60 years ago under the Sacred Cree law in Wakatokwin. We respect her privacy of her family, friends, colleagues, and fans,
God.
and their decision to remain supportive and loving towards her. We
Let
understand
me
that tradition.
sorry, Mike.
Yeah,
Let me just translate that quickly into English. We got in so deep with this con artist that we can't call her out as the bitch she is. We respect her privacy as code word for we ain't talking this bitch no more. And for those of you wondering, the CBC investigation in American, it would be called "Who This Bitch Be?"
yeah, exactly. Why you acting so cray? So,
I'm angry because my
Wait.
nephew and godson is a 50% Cherokee in my
Wait,
adopted family.
we understand
Wow.
that traditional adoption comes with great responsibilities. It does not provide anyone permission to falsely claim Indigenous origin identity. Being adopted into an Indigenous family and community does not authorize anyone to speak on behalf of all our people. The false origin story and the appropriation of Indigenous intergenerational trauma is intolerable and an act of colonial violence. Oh God, I love this colonial.
Mike,
Wow.
may I say something for one moment? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh,
I am
one sec,
also
one sec, one sec.
okay.
One
Go
sec,
ahead.
because I'm almost done. Okay. Again, we acknowledge the deep feelings of betrayal many are feeling today. We stand with you as we strive to find healing and resolution in a challenging and difficult situation. There you go. Buffy
By the way,
St.
that is
Marie.
one. Hey, Paisana.
One. Yo, Paisana.
That
And
is not
Franco Walker.
Italian, right? It's Italian
Yes.
for ciao, Bella. I want to. I'm going to do something right now. Since they said that they weren't going to do it because they were native, I am not, in fact, native. Only 3%. So take this for what it's worth. Hey, Rocco, and hey, Franco. I want to say this on behalf. I am going to speak on behalf of the Native Americans. You ready? Fuck you, you goddamn lying whore. You had no right to do this shit to these people. You were doing all right on your own. There's ain't nothing wrong with being Italian. And as the uncle and godfather of a 50% Cherokee, how dare you culturally appropriate him? He gets mocked and shit for that all the time. One of the greatest war heroes in the history of the United States is Walter McCluskey, sank 2 aircraft carriers in one goddamn day. How dare you disparage these people? Fuck you, lady. I have just spoken on behalf of all Native Americans. If you don't agree with me, you send your letters to savingstartrek@gmail.com.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't hold
Franco
anything
Walker,
back. Let us know how you really feel.
I am
That's right.
Nathaniel
And
of the
Mel
Yankees,
Walker.
the last of the Mohicans.
So there you go. We got.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. My 2 cents on this is why is it a thing? Didn't she do great things for the natives, and then didn't she give to charities and stuff like she actually helped people though?
No, she gave them a
Maybe-
name and a face that people could identify with, and that's all.
No, I
She
think
wasn't
she did
out there.
stuff for the communities though too. I'd have to look into that, but I think she did.
Google
I
Beverly
don't know,
St.
but-
Marie, Buffy
Hmm.
St. Marie charity, right? See what
But
she
if it's
did.
but if it's under the guise of a lie, it's
Yeah.
Yeah. When
But
she
how
showed
many
up at
people in
the-
Hollywood lied about things? And you could go down a list. I guarantee there's a lot of them.
We're
Oh,
not here
yes,
to endorse
no
Hollywood.
doubt.
They're all dicks too.
But I mean,
They're all
if
dicks
you're
too.
really essentially like lying, it's like basically going around saying I'm black. When
This is
obviously,
identity theft.
Well,
this is
isn't everybody in modern society thinking they're women or men when actuality they're the opposite?
This is identity
I'm
theft,
just
man.
saying. I mean,
no, I
This
know
is a
you're just saying.
protected class of American and Canadian. You're not supposed to impersonate other people and steal their goddamn culture. It was considered in poor taste when we had white people playing black people in Birth of a Nation. What's the difference between fucking Buffy the fucking Dignity Slayer here?
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
I don't know.
cultural
It's just me.
appropriation. It's
Yeah.
like white people wearing native headdresses.
You know what?
That's-
If you're gonna
that's
go
pretty
to a
frowned
fucking
upon.
Cleveland Indians game, go ahead and do it. There's a time and a place that you could do it. If you're a member of the Village People, wear the headdress. But this is ridiculous. That guy wasn't pretending to be a real Indian. No, but that guy wasn't pretending to be a real Indian.
Your entire life and your entire career on a lie, then
how did it start? Did someone walk up to her?
I don't know.
How did it start? Did someone say, like, wow, with those high cheekbones, you really you look like a beautiful, like, Princess Pocahontas? And she's like, well, I'm more like Princess Smoke a Crackus, and I'll tell any lie. So yeah, I'm an Indian.
Yep. Wow. So we got that bit of really weird news.
That was crazy.
Go to another one.
It's so freaky.
Maybe I'll just say that for Friday.
It's really freaky that the two people who appropriated another culture are both from Massachusetts, her and Hilarious Baldwin. Hilarious Baldwin claims she is Spanish and speaks in pidgin English like an asshole. She was born in Boston, descended from a Mayflower traveler. You cannot be more white American than that bitch. And she named her kid Diego. Guys, there are 8 Baldwin children. Watch out. There's going to be a crime wave when they start hitting 21. They've got an uncle and a mother who are fucking con men.
So,
but Ledrod, if genitalia doesn't define gender, then skin color doesn't define race.
1969, she has operated the Hawaiian Foundation for the Native American Education, which she dedicated her own money to. So she has given to help people in schools.
Did she? Yeah. Did she throw a concert for Native Americans, keep the money, call it hers, and then give it to the charity, though? I mean, how did this?
No, she's done that for all the money she's made for albums and anything. Like, she's given a lot of money by the sounds of it. So,
okay.
I'm going to use a term here. She got something for it. Let's call it what it is. She's an Indian giver.
Oh, good one. Good one.
Sorry, she walked right into that one. Buffy, you led a shitty life.
Yeah. So,
Abraham Lincoln's a better vampire slayer than you. Hey, Rocco.
Yeah. Rocco, I'm half Picurus?
Pueblo.
And still don't wear headdress because I was raised as a skater boy in Long Beach, California. Wouldn't feel right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Rocco liked the joke, by the way.
There you go. There you go.
There's a half Pueblo person is saying it's fine. By the way, hats off to the Pueblos for inventing modern style apartment buildings.
Yes, exactly. Right into a mountain. I'm telling you. Wow. So, as we continue with the hilarity here, I don't know if anybody on this panel has seen the latest South Park movie. So,
I'm waiting. I heard it's pretty good.
No,
I've only seen it 3 times. I've only watched it 3 times in a row from
South
the first.
Park
Oh, my God!
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I watched
a little more
yesterday.
than it's about 3 episodes long. It's about 80 minutes. Right.
It is.
Okay.
It is, and it's good. It's so good. So, this from
immediately watched it again. I immediately watched it again. There she. All right.
Exactly.
So, by the way, the plot of this is they go with the multiverse and talk about how it's nonsense. They savage Disney, the bad guys, Iger. It's great. Go ahead, Mike. I have to start laughing out loud from you.
Oh my gosh.
So
I'm going to mute.
Entertainment Analysis criticizes South Park for not targeting Kevin Feige at Marvel Studios after it lampooned Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm. Well, I mean, it kind of does lampoon Kevin Feige at Marvel Studios anyway, with the whole multiverse thing, regardless, right? But it's like, if you're going to make one of them your target, well, yeah, why not Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm, right? Because I think I can speak for everybody on this panel that Star Wars, is just, it's more bigger than than anything else Marvel has put out. Right?
It was, right? It was.
Well, it was. Yes. So, Entertainment Analysis, Andre Einerjar, the founder.
That would be Andre from Midnight's Edge, right?
Yep, from Midnight's Edge on his YouTube channel, criticized South Park and its creator Trey Parker Mastone for not targeting Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios as it lampooned Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm in their special South Park Joining the Panderverse, right? So,
look at her standing in front of. Look at her standing in front of that Indiana Jones logo. How dare you stand where his name is written? How dare you? By the way, when you're done talking about this part, I have Gina Carrano's tweet about what is going to happen to these people ready to be presented.
Oh,
it's ready to be presented when you get to it. When you get to it. Hi, Ray.
Red card. Does that mean jack-o'-lanterns are cultural appropriation? I mean, it came from Irish immigrants. Yep, it did. It did.
I am
100%,
25% allowed to have a pumpkin and a jack-o'-lantern.
There we go. Yep. And actually, it wasn't a pumpkin originally. In Ireland, it was a gourd.
It was a
Which-
goddamn
Yeah.
potato, and we know it. It was a fucking
And when
potato,
it
and
came
we know
into
it.
North America. Yeah, exactly. Snail Messiah. Let me get a copy and I'll join you. Oh, really? Do you want to join? Okay, fine. So in a recent video upload, Mr. Midnight's Itch asserted going after Kennedy right now is good and well, but in a way it's way too late. I don't know. I'd have to probably disagree with him whatsoever, on that.
God, I heard that
The
in Andre.
damage-
I heard that in Andre's voice, right?
I
heard
did too, yeah.
Going after Kathleen Kennedy is all well
Yeah.
and good.
Exactly.
Yep.
The
Only the
damage
way he can
been
say
done.
it.
Exactly.
He speaks
They
English
need-
better than us. I mean, he's
He
a better
does.
English. His usage exceeds mine.
Yeah. They need to have gone after her years ago when it still might have made a difference. But now, can the brand ever recover? At this point, it's not looking so good. So I would rather the South Park guys have focused on their efforts on the parts of Disney where something constructive might still happen, i.e., they should have targeted Bob Iger and Kevin Feige. Well,
I disagree.
that's-
I disagree.
I do too.
Look at the
I
private chat, Mike. Just take a quick look at the private chat. A yes or no will do. It's there
okay,
now.
yeah.
Boom.
Okay.
You want me
Yeah.
to? Shall I?
But
Okay,
yeah,
I'll do that.
just for a quick note. I mean, Marvel's amazing, and it has made lots of money.
Yes.
But let's be honest, Star Wars is a generational thing. It transcended so
Yes.
many things, and it created a whole universe that is beyond. And I love Marvel, but Star Wars is its own entity. So that's something that's just ready to be, and what they've done with it. No, that was perfect to be made fun of.
Hey,
Kathleen
Canadian
Kennedy.
Spider-Man. Nice
Yeah,
to
the
see you,
Canadian
bud.
interjection of
Spider-Man.
the
The what-
interjection
the
of
sto-
humor in Star Wars where it wasn't needed. I think that kind of killed it.
Yeah, I think so too.
One of the many
Uh,
things that killed it.
And I mean, I'm okay with. Oh yes, that post. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Anyway,
All right, Snail.
Um,
Snail, check your inbox on Twitter. We threw you down the keys, as we say here in New York.
yeah, there we go. No, I mean, I think it's perfectly fine that they did Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
And they can do another one with Kevin Feige and Marvel. There's no saying
There
that
was
they
a very
won't, and there's no saying that
Bird
they
of Prey-
can't.
Bird of Prey 5 had a really interesting take on it. He was saying that because it's Cartman saying these things, that means that the guys from South Park can step back and say, look, it came out of Cartman's mouth. He's the unenviable one. It's just
Yeah.
his delusion because he's a loser. Our regular characters didn't engage in it, the ones that are our point of view, to which I say, yeah, but those characters changed into like woke avatars of themselves too. So I'm not sure
Right.
if Bird of Prey 5 cut off more knowledge when he trimmed his fingernails today than I'll ever have, but I don't know if he's right about that one.
Well,
Yeah.
one interesting thing about it is that since it's coming from South Park, they're introducing, shall we say, mainstream people who don't keep up with stuff like we
All the
do,
stuff.
we
Yeah,
super
yeah.
fans. They've introduced the normal run-of-the-mill, more mundane people to Kathleen Kennedy, because who outside of super fans know who Kathleen Kennedy is?
No,
Exactly.
Not exactly a household name.
You know
That's
what?
right.
Honestly, she's been in Vanity Fair like 3 times in 3 years. People might, but people would be
Yeah.
like, Kathleen Kennedy, yeah, when her husband was assassinated by Sirhan, it was a terrible thing.
Yeah. Gab After Dark, the media, including the mainstream media, has been reporting about the slide stock even further into the toilet. No, that's you're right. They specifically mentioned that the new Snow White being pushed back as the stock slid to a lowest point ever. That's right.
That's right.
So, I
It
mean-
would have been
That's right.
it would have been worse if they didn't push it back. That movie is a fucking crack habit for that company. Like
Yep.
this,
But I mean,
woke
here's
identity
the thing.
was cigarettes. This is crack.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it's been moved to 2025 now. So,
It's
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
happening.
But I mean,
No,
here's
Never
the
gonna
It
thing.
might
happen.
not. It
With
probably
all the
won't.
news,
I mean, if-
with all the with all the news that's been coming out about Disney, like over the past year, especially, right? And Kathleen Kennedy's name being thrown out, especially over the past 2 years, right? The way I see it, it's essentially time to capitalize on her enormous screw up.
Yeah.
You'll have a 20% stock
they're
surge.
moving. Disney is certainly moving into damage control right now because last I looked yesterday, their stock was in the 70s, like 70 something.
Wow.
Now I just looked at it's like $81 or whatever. It's like up,
They
down,
pulled some
up,
bullshit
down.
to rally it
It's
back.
pretty sad.
And
It's
I
pretty
can see why you
sad.
focused on her because let's be honest, Marvel films, there's been some bad ones. But what she did with those 3 Star Wars films was sacrilege almost to the Star Wars universe.
Yes.
Fuck you,
Yes.
lady. Fuck you for what you did to my childhood. Fuck you. Fuck you right where you breathe.
Skywalker, he's a nothing. He's a guy that just sucks on a
deadbeat dad who abuses his cousin, nephew, and lives on freaking Me Too Island, like Amber Alert Island, on planet Time's Up in the Me Too system. What a bunch of bullshit. That was the stupidest fucking movie.
You take a fan-loved character like Han Solo, who had a great story arc, great character arc in the original trilogy, went from a space pirate looking out for himself to gaining responsibility, then realizing, hey, people are looking up to me as a role model. I should take that seriously. And then he works his way up in the rebellion. Disney trilogy, he's a deadbeat dad.
Fucking con man.
Divorced deadbeat dad who lost his ship.
Is he divorced or did he just fucking split? You know what I mean? It's
I don't know what happened there. They never really delved into that.
They never really said. It's just
all she says is he has a new jacket.
When things got tough, he split. He lost his ship.
Exactly.
He spent
and she sucks too, by the way.
To find a ship.
And she sucks too. She sent the kid away to boarding school with pedo priest Luke.
Yeah, exactly. So the article continues. Everything Kennedy did, she did under Bob Iger's watch and oversight. He could have stopped her, and he did step in and prevent more movies, but he did not stop her from doubling down on Disney Plus. At best, that makes him equally responsible, he elaborated. Well, okay, I mean, I can go along with that. But it gets worse, he asserted. It was Marvel that succeeded Star Wars as the biggest entertainment franchise in history. But in recent years, that too has gone to the dogs, and the person responsible for that is Kevin Feige, who knowingly and wittingly repeated what Kennedy was doing to tank Lucasfilm over at Marvel. And surprise, surprise, it tanked Marvel too, he declared.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's almost as if this is a universal recipe for failure or something. True. That is
by the way,
true. I will give him that.
However, they're idiotic because the last time they had a big movie, right, would be Endgame, right? The second part would be the last real big thing they had, really big.
Snail.
Those same idiots, hey Snail, they released Solo at the same time. What were you thinking?
No, Rogue One. I actually didn't hate Rogue One. If anybody's seen Rogue One,
Rogue One.
I didn't hate Rogue One.
It wasn't terrible. I mean, that was like
setup.
the only decent.
The first 40 minutes sucks. The first 40 minutes absolutely suck.
But when they say that Marvel overdone Star Wars, I disagree with that. Star Wars is still its own entire world. I mean, Marvel's still big, but to me, Star Wars is. I disagree with that statement.
Because I mean, here's the thing: Kevin Feige's name isn't as big as Kathleen Kennedy's. We basically know the Marvel movies because of the comics.
Yeah.
Not everybody's familiar with Kevin Feige's name or him. I mean, I
know
now
we are.
Not as big as Kennedy. Yeah, now we are, right? And especially for us
producing it. Here's the thing. They got, in one sense, they got a lot of people talking about their brand, but they're not the Rolling Stones. There is such a thing as bad press. No. So we all know who Kevin Feige is, or Kevin whatever, Kevin alternate lifestyle he is. But the fact of the matter is they mock him in She-Hulk after he fired his own writers. They wrote an episode about him being a robot and kick him around, and he's okay with it. This guy's a cock.
Yeah, basically.
So,
in fact, Kevin Feige made it abundantly cler that he had been embraced he had embraced the ideology while promoting the Eternals back in 2021, back in April. He informed Variety, well, the notion of switching up the genders, sexualities, and ethnicities of the characters from the comics was baked in initially. That was part of what Nate Moore was really advocating for in moving the Eternals to the top of the list for us to start working on. He also elaborated.
By the way, if you want some really pure heroin, follow Kevin Feige around. He seems to be under the influence, making these insane statements. The Eternals, really, really.
When it came to casting, that also did affect it. There were some characters that we did change from male to female. There were some characters that we knew how we were altering them from the books, but then it came down to casting. That's right, you and Turtle friggin' oh god, I want to punch him in the face for what he did. So on October 21st, he also declared that making Phastos gay in the film was only just the start for gay characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There had been gay heroes before in the comics. It is more than pastime in the movies. It's just the start. Yeah, because everything had
let
to
me
be
step in
about
here.
Diversity.
Let me step in here. There's been gay characters in the comics, yes, but why don't you bring those characters in? Don't take characters that pre-existed and change them to make them gay. Just bring the other ones in. No, we have to change the that's
Pops.
what the problem. That's what the problem people have.
Yep,
it's you're changing existing characters.
Exactly.
Stop it.
And if anybody knows about comic books as well, that's Pops here. Hell, brother, I got to get some stuff done before Talk Hard. Always good stuff with a great panel. Thank you, dude. I really appreciate it. And if you ever want to come on, then just
do we want to read Gina? Do we want to read Gina Carrano's prediction of what they're going to do to these poor people from South Park?
Oh, we will, my friend. We will.
Okay.
So as for Bob Iger, under his leadership, the company introduced a new inclusion key with Disney Parks experiences and products. Chairman Josh Damaro explaining, we want our guests to see their own backgrounds and traditions reflected in the stories, experiences, and products they encounter in the interactions with Disney. And we want our cast members and future cast members to feel a sense of belonging at work. And he added,
like our friend from Denmark, Snell, felt seeing Little Mermaid, right? That was very inclusive to your culture, right?
Like the 4 keys before them, the 5 keys, with inclusion at the heart. Shut up, you train. Will continue to guide us as we interact with guests, collaborate together, create the next generation of Disney products and experiences, and make critical decisions about the future of our business. Inclusion is essential to our culture and leads us forward as we continue to realize our rich legacy of engaging storytelling, exceptional service, and Disney magic. Whatever.
It's crap storytelling because it's a narrative. There's no storytelling. We got to push something. And like I said, you can have gay characters. Nothing wrong with that. But bring in existing ones. Don't have to change existing ones of what they are, who they are. That's what pisses people off. That are the true,
right.
It's just I'm fine with a character that's gay that existed in the comic book. Fine, and plus don't focus on it. We don't need to focus on it. Just show them what they. It's
not they push the message. They have a message they have to push, a narrative they have to push. So that trumps story. That trumps character development. It's what they have to push out there, and it's also killing one franchise after another.
They're also very, very stupid because representation for your population, that story where Superman gets sodomized over and over and over and talks about it tearfully.
Yes.
You had that's representation. That's something that what the fuck?
Exactly. Because Gina Carrano weighed in on the South Park joining the Pandaverse, and she also revealed that Disney asked her to unfollow certain accounts because they said bad things about Kathleen Kennedy. Oh, no.
That's when you change your Twitter.
What's that?
Say that again,
Snail?
It's like an abusive spouse of any kind, male, female.
Exactly.
You can't have these friends. You can't have friends. It's
they want control.
Yeah, the abusive spouse saying, if you really love me, you'll do
Exactly.
Well, look,
Exactly.
you know what?
Exactly.
And you want to take it a step further. They control them financially because as soon as something goes wrong, the slightest thing goes wrong on any of these shit shows, they turn around and say, because our fans are pleasure boating Yahtzees, all of our cast will not get to work until every other year. And by the way, we're so disorganized, they won't be able to do any other work. So we just cut their salaries in half. Diversity, everybody. Our women get top pay for half the work, but they work half as much.
Canadian Spider-Man says South Park wussed out and missed their points altogether. They could have had blood in the water, but didn't push it. And you know what? I'm gonna have to give that to Canadian Spider-Man. Yeah, they could have pushed it a little bit further. More.
Yeah, unless they felt like they were only at a point where they could go so far.
No,
and
Ledrod, they don't give a shit about
dude.
this.
I really appreciate it. So thank you.
I'd also
I know
say
you're gonna
this.
work.
30 years into their careers, the South Park guys know exactly what they're fucking doing now. They've got two movies, a play that almost, and that play almost ended them too. These guys laugh at the idea they'd be canceled. You try to cancel South Park, they'll come back bigger and stronger. But yeah, I like the idea that the multiversal Kathleen bigger, longer, and uncut.
So let's see what Gina has to say here. Given her own personal history with the company and its notorious producer, it should come as no surprise to find that actress Gina Carrano has thoughts on the South Park joining the Pandaverse special and its criticisms of Disney and Kathleen Kennedy ruinous obsession with identity politics. Oh my, I can't wait for this to happen. Offering a rare criticism of the House of Mouse's ongoing creative implosion, joining the Pandaverse begins with
rare if you're not
finding himself plagued with nightmares in which he and the rest of the South Park citizens, for no reason and with no explanation, have suddenly been replaced with diverse women complaining about the patriarchy. Last time,
that's Cartman up. Oh, sorry, that's Cartman up front, and I believe that's Kenny on the far right.
Yeah.
Last night I had a dream. I was walking down the school highway, and then I see Butters, and that's when I began to notice that something's wrong. Everyone that cared about had been systematically replaced, and I finally went to scream, and I'm like, "Why are they replacing every single character? Who's diverse?"
Holy shit, that's a great Cartman. Yeah, wait, so if you look at the picture for a second, I messed up. Kyle is on the far right, next to Kyle.
Yeah.
I believe that's Kenny with the purple hair. Kenny's like a purple hair, like what? And everybody's so sarcastic you can't pick up what they're saying. It's just like watching Strange New Worlds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Gina Carano's tweet is haunting. I don't know if we're gonna get to what she said, but she basically called out Kathleen Kennedy as a real fucking menace to society, bully and a menace to creators.
Yeah,
and I think she's right, by the way.
That kid is that it's not our fault. It's Kathleen Kennedy.
He continues his words because
make a guy by the second. But then Kathleen Kennedy's like, fuck it, make him our name. And everybody's like, put a woman in it, make a guy. Kathleen Kennedy, stop doing everything. But Kathleen Kennedy's like, put my character women in it. It's my make my fucking name. And then Disney starts to go down and down and down. And then Bob Iger is like, nah, what's going on with my staff? No, Kathleen Kennedy. So, yet, the therapist dismisses these nightmares as nothing more than stress dreams stemming from his fear of being replaced by AI. Cartman soon discovers that they were actually glimpses into the multiverse, the truth becoming apparent to him, just as he and his diverse female counterparts, who herself was experiencing the same dreams but in reverse, are forcefully swapped into each other's universe. Oh my god, my throat, I haven't done that in years. So
it was very good.
That
was very good.
Yeah, I try. Like I said, folks, I suffer for this show for you and for your entertainment. So, Gap After Dark. Yeah, the police are coming.
There's the quote right there. Look,
put a chicken in, make a lemon gay. Doctor, put the chicken in, make it gay.
Meanwhile,
he says that like 35 times.
No, that's right.
It was the answer to every question. They're like, we're running. Look, the Indiana Jones movie's in a lot of trouble. People are saying it's going to suck.
Put a chicken and make it lemon gay. Put a chicken and make it gay. Make it lemon gay.
Meanwhile, as both Cartmans and their respective stands, Kyles and Kennedy set out to correct this error, Bob Iger and the Disney board come to the realization that the version of Kennedy currently roaming the halls and greenlighting films, a Cartman variant, whose core creative principle is
put a chicken in, make it lemon gay,
is not their own. So sure enough, the board soon comes to understanding that not only has Kennedy been replaced, you know what? YouTube is going to tag me for that, thinking I'm taking sound clips. I know that's what's going to happen. But that the situation was caused when the company's overuse of the Panderstone, an ancient piece of artificial intelligence that could be used to make the movie over and over again while appealing to absolutely everyone, tore a hole open in the multiverse, right? So, so this part is where they're getting the Marvel stuff from, right? Because, it's mentioned over and over again that, multiverse at this point is just so freaking lame.
Yes, the multiverse that we all know and love. Yeah.
Yes. So eventually,
that we all know and have to love, or else we get the hose again.
That's
right.
Yeah, exactly.
And hail, Dad Man, howdy, listening on a cool day off, dude. Thank you very much for dropping by.
There.
I hope
Dad Man takes time off. I didn't think he slept. He does a stream, then he does Fortnite,
know, right?
then there's we love you, Dad Man. Your link's going in the chat. Everybody should subscribe to Dad
Franco
Man.
Walker, that's a perfect Cartman. Thanks, man. So you can make a fortune making Cartman ringtones. Yeah, I probably could. So
get the phone, you asshole. Hey, you gay. You gay. Oh my God, you guys are so good. Fuck, my throat is just hitting so bad. Oh my God. Anyway,
all I need to do is take the voice and speed it up 10%. That's what they do for Cartman.
Yeah, they do.
Do they speed it up a little?
Yeah, 10%.
A little bit.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, let's see. So the Panderstone were great for a while, Kennedy told Cartman, but then came the hate mail, ugly letters from racists who could stand that some of the Panderstone's rehashes had diverse women characters in the lead. I decided I would show them. I would start making movies to fight all the bigotry in our society, right?
Oh boy.
God.
Right. Yeah. And it kind of goes along the way they went, because she's like, at first we just stayed away from it, but then we started using it just a little, but it got too easy. And then we started making movies that pandered too hard to everyone and made no one happy.
Exactly. But instead of doing real work, I turned to the Panderstone, she admits. It made things so much easier. Soon I was using the Panderstone over and over again to try to fight all the ugly feedback, in which in turn was growing stronger and stronger. But I was fighting with the wrong tool. I used the Panderstone so much that it became unstable. It opened a portal to the multiverses, and something came through. Turning to the Cartman counterpart, Kennedy recalls, at first we thought I tried to send it back into its universe, but it got the upper hand. It
looks like MODOK. It looks like MODOK.
It used
to be able to send me to this universe out of its way so it could thrive in ours, right? Like, how does anybody basically in the normal Kathleen Kennedy universe mistake Cartman Kennedy for that Kennedy? This is what boggles my mind right here. So
because the multiverse is that fucking stupid. It makes sense. You just can't understand it. That's what they say in every multiverse show. How is this happening? Well, Loki, you're a 100-year-old Norse god with an IQ of 9,000, but your feeble mind can't wrap itself around the multiverse. Let's just go ahead and have this adventure.
Yep. Surprisingly, rather than vitriol, Cartman instead meets Kennedy's story with acceptance, admitting that's actually the best explanation I've heard as to why Disney movies are suck right now. I understood that maybe you were trying to make a difference, Kathleen, but you have to admit that the last few movies you shit have been real stinkers. So, oh God. All I ever wanted to do, she says, was to make great entertainment. Believe me. Yeah, somehow I very much doubt that. But
Right.
yeah, exactly. Right.
No, I think she
I
would
think
pass
she's
the
trying
poly.
to get back at Steven Spielberg and all those with just having her make coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
that's
that seems
Spielberg
to be
walked
one of the
off
things
her
she's
movie.
good at, right?
Exactly.
Spielberg walked off her movie. Remember that? Spielberg walked in there and spent about 15 minutes. He got the lay of the land of Indy 5 for about 5 minutes. He's like, Harrison, the car's still running. Come with me. And Harrison's like, no, I came here to demean my legacy, and I'm not leaving until everyone loses all respect for me.
Yep.
Yes,
as soon as
another
you start getting
franchise bites the
piles
dust.
and piles of
I
hate
want to
mail,
do Working
everyone
Girl
has
too,
calling
so
you
I can be
the
a
C-word.
deadbeat dad in that too.
You can't think straight. So, in a moment of levity, Carmen basically admits,
Well, I'm sorry, it was probably a bit bitch. So,
oh, God, it really turns the throat, I'm telling you. So, so it's like, no, I got 10,000 letters a day till he co-reacts.
it was more like 12,000 to 13,000, especially during the new Indiana Jones came out. So,
Because yeah, that was dog shit. So so yada yada yada. So let's get to the Kathleen Kennedy part. Okay.
Yeah, this is the tweet.
So, and this is the last exchange in particular, which drew Carrano's attentions. Okay. So, this is what happens. Retweeting a clip of the scene, which notably cuts just after Cartman's declaration that Kennedy's story was the best explanation I've heard as to why Disney movies all suck now, as shared by the nerd news outlet Geeks and Gamers. Carrano declared, "This is the part where KK demands any YouTubers get," or Carrano, yeah, sorry. What did I say?
Carrano?
Carrano, yeah, Carrano. This is the part where
Yeah,
KK
God,
demands any YouTubers get censored off of YouTube for sharing and laughing at this hilarious episode. She'll have YouTube
Mike,
disable the thumbs down.
I was just say you put ketchup on spaghetti, don't you? Gina Carrano. Okay. Sorry.
Carrano,
But yeah,
Not
no,
Steve
this,
Carrano. No, Steve Carrano's a wrestler.
Yeah.
By the way, this
It's the
this woman
it's the
knows
Cartman
what she's talking. Hi, Jill.
Exactly.
This woman knows what she's talking about.
hey,
She
Jill.
has
And
been
Carla.
raked over the coals.
Yes.
So this is firsthand information. She's telling these people what's going to happen, and I don't think she's wrong.
Exactly. She'll have YouTube disable the thumbs down opinion because of the ratio she'll receive. Then she'll have her publicist ghouls make sure Variety and Hollywood Reporter run hit pieces about South Park creators and their families, smearing their names through every useful idiot she has under her thumb who would sell their soul to work for Lucasfilm, the former Mandalorian star, said. She'll activate her online mob to repeat that the South Park creators are racist, bigot, transphobe, and demanding that the South Park creators publicly apologize by only using words she approves of. And finally, she'll demand that they subject themselves to a re-education course of 45 people in the LGBT community Zoom call to sit there and listen of how badly they got their feelings hurt all over a little boop of a South Park episode.
Right.
Ultimately, ending on a cheeky
That's what she
Carrano-
went through.
Yep. Concluded her chase,
Carrano.
but maybe, just maybe, the jig is up. Yep, there's the tweet right there. That she made.
Gina Carrano knows what she's talking about.
She was there.
They did
She dealt with it.
She was there. She went through it. She went
This
through
is
that.
not empty rhetoric. This is admissible in court. This is firsthand evidence. I also got to say, I feel badly for Gina Carrano because of the way she's been treated and beat up by the people who who are part of Disney, and it's definitely messed up her career. But here's the thing: they had it right at first with this female character. I would have believed that Gina Carrano, with a little bit of stealth and maybe some martial arts, could take a guy. Right? That wasn't insane. What we get now is absolute insanity, like in that Moon Knight
Right.
show where the woman punches out not one but two grown-ass men who are like 6 feet tall and she's 4'11", and fucking
Yeah.
Moon
Yeah.
Knight's there.
Right,
Like,
right.
Poe is there like, duh, thanks for saving my stupid ass. And she's like, hold on, let me punch down these other two guys. And Sylvie on Loki is overpowering. Dude, this is horse shit.
Yeah,
Watch
Gina's
it,
believable.
event-
Gina has
and
MMA
watch-
background. Like she's a fighter for real. So
Right.
Not to
She
mention
has
when she
the
would-
actual background. Plus, it didn't just affect her career; it affected John Favreau's career as well, because he had a lot revolving around Gina Carrano, her role in the
3 years later,
Mandoverse.
that's not. I don't forgive him for that anymore. That's no longer an excuse. He should have quit or written something better, because this was not a cool middle ground. What we got.
Anyway, First of all,
it's like me,
Andy Jill
it's like me
says,
telling people
well,
to leave a spouse over little things. It's his meal ticket.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's a
30
big meal
terrible
ticket.
And
First of all,
It's 30 terrible stories in a row, though. 30.
Hold on,
30
yeah.
with the
hold
same
on,
one.
Well, I also have to
guys.
wonder
One
how
sec,
much
one sec.
control. Oh, sorry.
one sec. Any derivative Jill says, well, none of that's going to happen because Matt and Trey don't give a flying fudge packer.
Very, very true.
They
Very
also
true.
they can retire.
Okay.
South Park is 30 years old. The Book of Mormon gets done in high schools. They get paid all the time. They can retire tomorrow. There are people who have worked 30 years on South Park who just bought an island, and people are like, what did you do? I was a stockbroker. I wrote jokes about farting for South Park for 30 years, and everyone's like, I hate you. That's a real thing now.
Snail,
Those people
Snail,
exist now.
Snail, you were saying?
I'm done brain farting.
Oh, okay. Well, good enough then. Tom.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say. I mean, they don't care. I'll never forget the first time I seen the very first South Park movie in theaters, and then there was a mother with their young child there. It's a cartoon, and then they sing the song Uncle Fucker, and then she's like, what the, and then just walked out. I'm like, are you surprised? Have you ever seen South Park before?
Right.
And they just literally walked out all angry. I'm like, we were laughing, me and my buddy watching it. It's like,
The worst movie parents I saw took a
care.
The worst movie parents I saw took a 9-year-old to see Gladiator. I turned around and when the kid, halfway through the movie, I turned around and I said to them, fuck you. And they said, my child's here. I said, your child just saw 5 decapitations and has been crying hysterically for an hour. Why don't you leave?
Yeah.
Yes.
They didn't.
And here's the
They
thing. You know,
didn't.
because Kathleen Kennedy will do this because she has done this. Because how many times, like, for example, when Obi-Wan came out, right? What did she do? More than likely, she instructed Ewan McGregor to like make that. Remember that stupid tweet that he put out?
Someone's in jail.
I feel bad for
Someone's
McGregor on that one.
Someone went to jail for what they said to me about Obi-Wan.
If you basically, criticize about this, then then you're no Star Wars fan of mine. It's like, oh, shut up, Ewan.
But I just want to say, if you want to listen to this lady, there's a guy who had to spend like 2 days on Rikers Island and appear in front of a judge because of their reaction to what I said about Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Because basically, she has.
You want to fucking stalk people?
everyone
You'll find out. Fuck around and find out.
Her little pinky finger, and at a moment's notice, she will unleash them all on Facebook, on X, on Instagram, anywhere she possibly can. Because
she will ruin their lives. She will ruin their lives because you'll have a police record for stalking. Try getting a fucking job with that. You look like an asshole with that.
And you know what? I bet you she will try her best to try to get South Park canceled.
I don't see that happening. It just
I know. I don't see it happening, but it wouldn't surprise me if she tries.
Actually, I want to see her try. I want to see. I could laugh at this. I want to see.
I want to. Yeah.
Yeah, she could try, but she won't succeed.
No, not in this one.
So unsurprisingly, while Carrano
say Gina's last name again, please.
Carrano.
Sorry.
Carrano was met with a wave of support and adulation from her fans. It also drew a fair share of criticism from her detractors. One such critique, although brief, came from the official Twitter account for the Around the Galaxy podcast, wherein its administrator informed their followers, in case you were wondering, at Gina Carrano has lost her GD mind. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I
I got
don't think so.
my response to these people for saying that about her got me that thing. Like, most tweeters don't like that. And I was like, I don't care. Fuck you.
Yeah. Now,
They were wrong to say that
to
about
take
her.
such swings lying down, Carrano in turn proceeded to lay into the Star Wars centric podcast, wiring back. Do you always call a woman crazy just because she has more firsthand experience than you and says something you don't like or understand? Bit misogynistic, don't you think? Tisk.
She outwoke them. She outwoke
Love
them.
that.
Go,
Good
Gina.
one. Good
Yep.
one.
Beat them
Yep.
at their own game,
Curious.
girl.
Here, I'll read it directly from the truth right here. Curious if your overlords pay you, or do y'all just go ahead and shove your whole head straight up their ass for free? I'm guessing for free. Might want to come out for some fresh air. For some added context, not just for you, but for the people reading. One of the things your overlords asked me to do was to unfollow certain accounts because they, quote, said bad things about Kathleen Kennedy, unquote. That was a huge red flag for me. If I were the head of one of the most powerful entertainment companies in the world, I would know that haters come with the territory and that maybe the haters are expressing their thoughts because they actually care, and caring is a good thing because as long as you care, well, hey, we still have something to work with. Maybe
I'm
we
very
can
proud
win
of my
their hearts
fellow
back.
Catholic school graduate, Gina Carrano, here.
There we go. Maybe we can win their hearts back eventually, and maybe they have some good things to add to the conversation, which they do and did. And at the very least, they are still buying the product. Look at Mando season 1. Boom. The healing had begun. If you are a proper good leader and learn how to embrace and communicate, not dictate in silence and demand your actors and directors unfollow and shame more than half your fan base and the people who have stuck with the franchise for decades. Side note, they don't say don't say the force is female, then allow only men to express their political views online. In fact, just drop the ridiculous phrase completely. One of the promises your overlords are having now is that they've made a lot of people completely stop caring about one of the most beloved franchises in history, all by bullying, pushing aggressive agendas, and trying to silence the people criticizing them. How are they able to tell stories they don't understand when the ones they identify with are the Empire? They're literally trying to squash the little guys, the rebellion, no matter the storytelling, or no wonder the storytelling is struggling. They fired and dehumanized people like me who did absolutely nothing wrong, all to virtue signal to people like you, the yes men. But the yes men, unfortunately for you and them, do not drive culture. Maybe they were banking on the kids picking up the slack. But one of the best things about this franchise is passing it from generation to share. The competition is too high to throw out something as valuable as that. Why would one generation pass it on when you've disrespected and thrown them away? Your overlords tried to hide behind the two oppressing fan bases fighting each other instead of taking them responsibly. They would encourage the hate, all while virtue signaling they are standing up for minorities, but instead using them as a shield and weapon. Funny enough, just how our government works.
By the way, she is loving using the word your overlords because she knows that this woke trash associates that with Doomcock. And she is absolutely, and I want to say, masterfully talking shit to people. She's from Dallas, Texas, but Gina Carrano could talk like that in Little Italy, and people would be like, hey, she's my kind of chick. I mean, that is absolutely telling it, shooting from the whip. She's not bullshitting. This is how Italians talk, man. She's right. She's fucking right.
Yep. And he drove her to jail, says, yeah, that's so funny because parents were walking out in real life and the movie. They were.
It's true.
So she keeps on going. They think people will forget. And yes, maybe they will. But for this moment, they have heard the people's voice and it shook them. They're choosing to stick with their weak leadership who couldn't handle YouTubers saying mean things online when all it would have taken is a true leader to step in, take the reins, take some responsibility, stop discriminating, apologize about things that they have been done wrong, step completely out of politics, be truly inclusive, and they'd be back in business. Until then, they're stuck with you and the yes men and their plummeting stocks. I'm not saying.
By the way, Mike, I think Gina just came up with a great name for this show. Saying mean things online. What do you think, Ned? With Mike saying mean things online with the Comic Relief Crusader. Thank you, Gina. That was brilliant.
Yeah, thank you, Gina.
She's really testifying here. Keep going.
She is. I'm not saying I'm right on all fronts, but I am open-hearted and refuse to discriminate based off of powerful people telling me how to think and act. And if there was something I needed to apologize for, I would have in a heartbeat, but I didn't say or do anything wrong. People come up to me daily and shake my hand and thank me for taking a stand, even people who think differently. One thing is true: good leadership makes for a better world, leading to healthier and happier people and a better opportunity. And look around. We are watching the devastating effects of what bad leadership can do worldwide. Boom.
I just want to say on behalf of Gina Carrano, this nonsense, and it might be old news, but it can't be said enough because of how serious what they misrepresented are saying. She did not deny a certain historical event from World War II in any way, shape, or form, or put down any religious group of people. That was a fucking lie, and that's the kind of stuff she's talking about here that they're going to do. She did not. When I first heard this story and it came out with the lies came to me first, I was like, what an insane chick. And then I went and looked at the tweets, and I'm like, wait, this has no connection to what I heard.
Yeah, it's nothing to it. It's a big nothing burger, but they can take something like that and twist it to fit their own narrative.
That was an outright lie,
and it was an outright lie. Yeah, but
I don't want to give them credit for twisting because that implies some artistry. That was just a foul, disgusting lie to say about any person that they would make that up, because that was a real thing and everybody hated it. And that was
she's essentially guilty of wrongthink. She is essentially guilty of wrongthink, so they had to take care of her and get her out of there.
Wasn't even that. Her analogy wasn't even that bad. She accused people of being Yahtzees. She accused people of being Yahtzees for censoring her, and that got turned into she denied the certain events. And you know what? And this is the reason why in this world you can never say I'm sorry. Never say you're sorry. You can say you're wrong. Do not say you're sorry. And people in this chat know exactly what I mean when I say someone smeared me and tried to pretend I said something about something, a historical event, and it was bullshit, and they made it a bunch of fucking sounds together. They tried to get the other person mixed up in it. If they didn't back off and realize that they did everything wrong and they didn't do it on a certain historical date that betrayed their real feelings, they would have had a noose around my neck. So this is a bullshit lie to tell about people.
You take that tweet from Gina and compare it to the one from the Mandalorian star and see which one's inflammatory.
The Shoah was an actual event. It happened.
Yeah,
pretty much the way they say it did.
Just like Matt and Trey, Gina doesn't care either. She doesn't care. She just speaks her mind, and that's why I've always
that was a great message. The only thing you can't really add anything to it except for maybe beep, bop, boop. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's all she said. That's all she wrote, as they say, and everything else came from that.
Mind you, Teague, I'm sorry, but us Canadians say sorry all the time. That's just part of our nature.
Yeah, exactly. So that being said, now we're a little bit over the 1 hour mark, and because it's Halloween, well, we're just gonna have a Halloween commercial. So here we go.
Brace yourselves.
Nut-free salted peanuts. Now only $5.99 a gram. Wake Up cleaning spray. Now in fun size. This week, just $12.99 a bag. Plus, get Glorbox for just $10.99. Now you're sure to be the favorite house in the world.
my god!
There we go.
Get a
That was
keychain
scary.
size skull of Calderon.
It is. Don't forget to get your glory box over at Omega Mart.
Yeah, I want one of those.
That
I
was
know,
frightening.
right?
Snail, were you going to say something about Gina Carrano before we went to break for our
Well,
sponsor?
I'll say one of the things that she posted was a picture of a whole lot of Germans stretching their arm. And one guy stands with his arms crossed. Now, the story behind that picture is that guy who stands with his arms crossed had started dating a Jewish girl. So he did that out of love, which is maybe one of the perfect things she could ever share was that picture.
And he was walking away from the people who were adoring the leader of World War II Germany. He was walking away annoyed, right? His back is kind of turned a little too.
Well,
he wants nothing to do with this.
It's about a love story, basically, and she did the very right thing, posting that picture. But at that time, I was part of the Discord server, and they were kind of younger people in there, and they didn't know what it was about. So all they saw was Gina Carrano being a Yahtzee.
Right.
When she was doing anything,
when you don't know your history, and when you are completely ignorant about these things, this is what happens.
Yep. That's right.
And by the way, she went to University of Nevada for a while. She's not dumb, and she has 3 years majoring in psychology. Okay, so she also went to school at the University of Las Vegas. She's a smart lady, and you know when she makes these. The thing is, when she makes these observations, she's somewhat qualified because she does have an undergrad degree in psychology.
That's right. So, because we can't get enough of Gina Carano, here's some more news about our lady. Rumor plans for Gina Carano's Cara Dune claim she was related to Princess Leia. Plot details was scrapped. Rangers of New Republic show revealed.
Oh,
so
wow.
That would have sucked because that would have meant she was related to Luke Skywalker, who she does not recognize when he rescues Grogu.
Exactly.
I again say, what the fuck was up with Jon Favreau? 30 terrible stories in a row, guys. His name's on them.
Yep. So apparently a new rumor claims that to reveal that Jon Favreau and Lucasfilm's plans for Gina Carano Cara Dune character, as well as plot details for the scrapped Rangers of the New Republic show. This is rather odd and interesting, so I'm just wondering how this is going to be happening. Now, the YouTuber Drunk 3PO, nice guy. I talked to him a couple of times there. Of course, he.
No, I am. I'm a paid sub of Drunk 3PO.
Oh, are you?
I think he's funny as hell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's funny as fuck.
He is definitely friends with Gina Carano. Okay.
Yeah.
So because she's the one that actually found his channel, and that's how they connected, because she was actually watching his channel. He didn't know about it until somebody told him. So anyway, so Drunk 3PO appeared on Culture Casino's YouTube channel on Sunday night and provided details about what Jon Favreau and Lucasfilm had planned for Gina Carano's Cara Dune before the company unceremoniously fired her over a mean warning about the dangers of hating your neighbor. Not only did they provide...
They very ceremoniously fired her. They brought her to the front of Disneyland. They tore her mouse ear epaulets off. They pulled off her mouse ear hat. They broke her fucking lightsaber over their knee and sent her out there into Apopka, Florida. They don't give a fuck about her. They fired her with ceremony. That's an incorrect quote.
Not only did he provide details about Carano's character, Carrano, not Carrano, but also he shared information about the scrapped Rangers of the New Republic, which would have seen Carrano be the lead, right? So Drunk 3PO shared what they had for Cara Dune, the character, was going to be a descendant of Princess Leia, or like related to Princess Leia.
Descendant of someone who's she's
or
older than
or
Princess Leia.
or in
But
that
she's
family.
You're
older.
being a cousin.
Yeah,
Right.
she's 41, which means she was 37 in the rescue, where Luke Skywalker would be like 26 because they finally beat the Empire, and it's a few years later.
Yeah.
Leia and Luke are the same age. She's too old. She's 10 years older than them. She can't be descended from them.
Well, here's the thing. Leia was adopted, so she could be from Alderaan and be her foster
Exactly.
sister or something like that.
Right.
That's a
right.
way to do it.
Yes.
They
Right.
need Skywalker relevance. That was a smart idea to try to weave her into the Skywalker clan or have her be an Organa who isn't related. But then we found out all the Organas are dicks who make fun of Leia for being adopted in a way that no one in my family ever made fun of people in my family for being adopted. And some of us look adopted, really adopted.
Canadian Spider-Man says all of the folks that I know that study psych did it to find answers to their personal mental issues. Just saying. Love Gina Carrano, though. There you go.
Yeah, actually,
I
know
would
a person
eat lunch at
who
the
does
psych
that.
cafeteria at Stony. I'm sorry. I would eat lunch at the psych cafeteria at college because the psych majors were all really hot women who had like questions about themselves.
There we go. What was that, Tom?
No, I was going to say I know somebody personally that did that. They actually studied because they had their own issues, and yeah, it's quite fascinating actually. Yeah,
Most men do that.
Yeah,
a lot of people have
Interesting.
said that one thing about psych majors in general, though.
Well, it's a thing for males. They will rather take education and learn about that problem so they can deal with it instead of going to a therapist or whatever it is. It's not a lie. It's what really happens out in the real world.
Yeah. So she was going to have a show where she hunts people down. Cara Dune was going to hunt down people that were part of the Death Star that blew up Alderaan. She wanted to go after them to seek revenge against. That was her home planet, he added. But she was related into this family that she doesn't know, he reiterated. So the Rangers of the New Republic, starring Gina Carrano as Cara Dune, they were going to stop her from being an assassin and have her join this elite force to go on and to take on these missions out, to take on these little fractions of the Empire that are still out there. Okay, I can kind of get behind that.
What they were doing was they were reworking it into something that agrees with Ahsoka instead of being its own thing that didn't need to be. They are making Disney Star Wars really complex like they did with Star Trek. Every single show has implications on the other shows, even though they're very stupid and not well written. Some dumb bullshit. And by the way, this right here is a problem shot where we see her with Ming Na from the Book of Boba Fett. In this sequence was the episode. This is the episode of The Mandalorian with Bill Burr, where the Empire chooses to transport their stuff in a very dangerous way. And when they get attacked, the people attacking them would be defined as rebels because they're fighting the Empire. But it's okay because the Mandalorian's the one who kills them. And then in this shot, they're sniping, right? They're sniping to try to cover the Mandalorian and Bill Burr, who are escaping the Imperial facility, where you have to have never been seen before by the security device. If they know who you are and you're safe, it won't tell you. But if you're a rando, it'll tell you everything. That's their security device. They go out the window on the roof, and this is so poorly constructed. And this is why I say Jon Favreau, 30 terrible stories. They're firing from the right, and then when they show them, the blaster bolts are coming from the other direction.
Frank Walker, you become unwatchable 144p and buffing constantly. Must be a storm coming. I'll catch up later.
Yeah.
Sorry,
take care,
Franco.
everyone. Yeah, sorry, Franco. Just keep safe.
Sorry
dude.
to hear it.
Yes, be safe.
So, let's see. Carla Burton says we need everyone to have the Titillating Tuesday playlist on the background while doing stuff to get comics numbers up. Yeah, thank you, Carla.
Exactly.
Yes,
100%.
because I
have a
am
question.
so close to monetization. I think I only need like maybe 400 hours or something like that. So, yes,
Let's
Carla.
watch Robin Hood.
Yeah,
Let's
Team
watch
said
Robin
it, and
Hood
I'll back
together
it.
this week.
Gotta do watch
I've got
along.
2 episodes. I've got 2 episodes. Let's do a watch along of Robin Hood at your leisure. I want you to get these hours. We could pick up 50 right there.
Okay. I will most definitely try because there are so many things that just keep on getting in the way, but I definitely do want to do that. So.
How do you not find time for the drama of Director X's vision of Robin Hood? The first time they finally got Robin Hood right,
easy,
guys.
man.
It's
easy
quite
to
easy.
get
It's quite easy.
They finally got
Simply
Robin
have-
Hood right. She's a black woman who has lots of sex. Hey, Christy.
Of course.
Okay.
So they hey Chrissy, how's it going? Nice to see you here. So welcome to the show and the insanity. So
Please like and
so
follow
they
our
had-
pal, the Comic Relief Crusader.
that's right, do it. And I'm sorry you just missed the commercial, but you can catch it on the rewind. Anyway, so they had books, they had comic books, they had character development stuff. There was even a video game talk. All this stuff around the character, Drunk C3PO elaborated. They were all in. So that goes as a testament to how much Cara Dune appealed to the audience out there. Everybody liked her as a character. Everybody wanted to
she
see
was a
more of her
great
out there.
character. Quite believable.
Favreau had big plans. I already knew that. He
did.
was stating he had big plans.
Oh
for her.
yeah, totally, 100%. And on top of that, she was a strong woman without throwing it in your face.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Exactly.
You know, exactly.
Literally.
So, yes.
By the way, when she would beat up a guy, she didn't overwhelm and beat the fuck out of them. She got the drop on them, or she used some martial arts, or she hit them with a blunt object. This was believable, more believable fighting at her point. I don't know if she stepped in and say, "Hey, Favreau, you bubblehead, maybe I should win this fight through stealth and skill rather than beating this guy up." And he's like, "Well, Kathy wants you to beat the guy right down into the ground." She's like, it doesn't work that way. And I'm an MMA chick. Trust me, I know how to beat him.
He knows
Just
what
let
to
me
do.
it like this.
I'll say,
I mean,
I'll
they-
say
they-
one thing about her. I was a super heavyweight boxer when I was young.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
117 kilos fighting
Wow.
weight. So I was really big. And looking at her, I would have problems with her in a fight.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I was
they
boxer.
described. Oh,
117 kilograms is 260 pounds for the Americans out there. That's big.
Go ahead, Pop.
yeah, they described her character as a former Imperial shock trooper. I could believe that. I mean, she was
No, I thought it
fighting
was a
Mando
former
to a
rebel drum
standstill.
trooper.
Yeah.
One second. Chrissy asked, do you guys know the movie Superbad?
Yes.
Yes, of
I've
course.
definitely heard of it.
No.
Yeah. Why do you
McLovin.
ask?
That's the McLovin movie.
See, and she's
Yeah.
a strong female who's built strong, but she's actually
Yep.
a very attractive woman too. So, it's-
Very feminine,
Yeah.
but very capable.
yes,
And also,
very.
like they did not abuse us by having her do things that destroy your immersion.
No,
When
exactly.
we see what do they call her? Scarlet Scarab from Moon Knight. Just absolutely not. She at one point she one shots 3 guys with like stiff arm punches, like that, like just blocks, like bang. Turns out they're lights, and she's like, "Come on, let's go." She doesn't even not even shaking her hand in pain. I mean, this was not the representation you want. This will get you hurt. Gina Carrano will show you how to successfully beat up a guy. Start by working out a lot. Go ahead.
And Hail Titan. How's it going, dude? Nice to see you here. Yeah, you know what? And that being said, Snail, I'm glad that you're on this channel because you are our own very own Midnight's Edge.
Oh?
Yes, I will say that because you just have that sultry voice just like he does. So we're going to adopt you as our own
great
Midnight's Edge.
speaking voice.
He
has
does.
a great speaking voice.
He does. Yes. So, he continued.
I can tell you stories
Yeah?
about that. Well,
I
a
bet
quick
you
one.
will.
I was answering phones for a guy who was having these courses and whatever.
Right.
And one lady called in and I was answering the phone, talking to her. And all of a sudden I heard her moaning. It's happened a few times. It's wow. Okay.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know how to respond to that, but
Oh my.
The
Yeah,
captioning
exactly,
will say,
right?
the captioning later is going to say awkward, pensive laughter.
And Chrissy, thank
Oh,
you.
thank you,
I
Chrissy.
really, really appreciate that. So I
cool.
hope you enjoyed the show. So
Rowing,
enjoy.
rowing.
And go back
Yeah,
and listen to
thank you
some
very
of our past episodes so Mike gets those listen hours. This
Well,
is
that's
the
right.
voice
Because
that
you know what?
needs to be
That-
monetized. It needs to be monetized.
This is what I'm going to tell you guys right now, okay? Because thanks to Carla for also mentioning that, because yes, I do have a playlist with all the live shows. When I get monetized, I will again, because like I said before, I did it at 250, I did it at 500, I did it at 750 subs. And when I get monetized, I will do another draw from something out of my collection that somebody out there will win. So, because I kind of got dinged last time of using this random wheel of, people that were in the chat and stuff like that. For some odd reason, it was dinged. Okay. So I'm going to do things a little differently. Okay. When I get monetized, because I will do a live broadcast of that. So I will be quizzing everyone and just spread this around. I will be quizzing everyone that shows up certain little questions on possibly every little show that I've done with people. Okay.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna have to watch every episode. Go back.
Exactly. And whoever
Aha.
gets the most right answers will win the prize. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that out there now.
And
all right.
I will buy a ham for the person who listens to the 4,000th hour of Comic Relief Crusader. I'm buying a ham for the person who was the 500th subscriber to Dadman, and I'm buying a ham for the person who listens to the 4,000th hour of Comic Relief Crusader.
Carla asked, why was I pinged? The reason why I was pinged, because apparently, I think it was because you can't like do a kind of like a gambling draw kind of
thing. Yeah, that's
yes. Apparently you can't do that on YouTube, so I'm going to do it a different way.
I told you that.
We'll draw a name out of a hat.
Yeah.
And I guaranteed it won't be any ham. It'll probably be a who ham.
Yeah, you know what? I bet games of chance are probably illegal.
Probably
games of chance are probably illegal
so anyway,
on YouTube.
So Drunk 3PO continued. Cara Dune was an invented character from Jon Favreau. So Jon Favreau created the character and had big plans. So they were looking for a woman that was, you guys have seen Gina. She's not thing, she's built. They wanted a woman like that. So they wrote this character specifically for her. And she says that all the time at the cons and everything else. Okay. It's hard to read when you're like trying to, talk the way somebody else is talking. It's kind of weird. So anyway, next he detailed a convention appearance in Utah where Katie Sackhoff also appeared. When we were in Utah, Katie Sackhoff was there, and for whatever it's worth, and those two went out and had a private conversation. They came back in tears and hugs and everything. They were on stage together in front of several hundred people to answer questions. They did a panel together, and I don't think they were supposed to. It was supposed to be
Carrano and Sackhoff had this encounter.
Yeah.
Right, so Katie Sackhoff. Yeah. Katie Sackhoff is still pretty cool. She just likes money, and she probably looks at this Mandalorian script and feels the same way we do.
Yeah.
As I said,
probably
it's about a meal ticket. It's not about much else. I know an American voice actress, and she said she was approached by Disney to do some work for them, and she didn't know what to do because it's a crappy company, but the money is good and the prestige is good.
Yeah.
It's like when I was training to be a chef,
trash you.
I could get into some very fancy restaurants. It would give me a lot of prestige later on.
Yeah. It'll give you
it'd be a good boost for anybody's career.
It looks good on a resume.
Exactly.
That's why the president of the United States is only allowed to make $250,000 a year.
Yeah. So he continues, I don't know about the conversation. I don't know all the stuff. But whatever it was like, it was like a good thing that they talked, and then they did this panel together. So it was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome to see, he added. After recounting this, he also detailed, I think more and more people are getting ready to stand up against basically everything we've been screaming about, where they said that we had no idea what we were talking about. It's all like you guys were right to begin with. At that point, early in the stream, Drunk 3PO stated, the day is coming, and I know the day is coming where there is a lot of emails, there's a lot of notes that someone has collected. And when you see this, it will blow your face off as to how disgusting this woman is. Kathleen Kennedy and the people that are running Lucasfilm, especially over there at the storyboard group. Referring to Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Looking at the lineup that Culture Casino brings on at 11:30 on Sunday. Boy, am I ever smart to start wrapping up my show at 11:20 and get the F out of there. He's just like,
Yeah.
well, this was a powerful podcast. Like I listened to it myself on the rewind because I'm just shot after my own. But yeah, just if you want to do YouTube, like it's cool to be on the same time as Culture Casino. You'll get a lot of people right before it comes on. Just be cool to him because he's cool, and then just get out of there because you're not gonna be able to compete. You're not gonna be able to compete. You'll just make yourself look bad.
Then, referring to Carrano's recent tweets about her time over at Lucasfilm, he said, "So you guys just got a little taste of what's to come."
Yeah.
Oh,
the
about
guys
the
from
tweet
South
that
Park.
earlier, yeah.
The South Park guys will eat that up like candy and make another play about it. But yes.
Yeah.
It says it was Kathleen Kennedy, and she actually had that Miss Ireland one that was a total racist, and writing for her too, and then like just
Kathy Ireland or
I forget what her name was again, but Justine, whatever. She was totally racist against white people openly, but she was working for the Star Wars writing stuff. And just Kathleen Kennedy back there.
Do you guys know Scott Pilgrim? Yeah.
Oh, very much so. Love Scott Pilgrim.
Yes. The movie, the comic. Oh, yeah, we know all about
all of it.
Feels like ages since I watched the movie.
Exactly, right?
We also know his cousin, Seth Infidel. We know him too.
Chrissy, you have entered the den of nerds. So you are welcome.
You've made the right decision, Christy.
You have. Sit down.
That one is still out for debate if that's a right decision to come here.
Well, yeah, that's true. Zing, pow.
Yes, I had a crush on Ramona for years. Oh yeah.
Anyway, so let's see what else is out. Oh, that's right, because it's Halloween. Five Nights at Freddy's cooks up monster box office after creator Scott Cawthon refused to apologize to woke cancel mob for his support of Donald Trump and Christianity.
Guy has freedom of speech. Let him say what he wants. Let him say what he wants. It's America.
Yeah, that'll get you canceled.
That's right. So
I say we cancel people
Universal
who don't
Studios.
want you to exercise your American citizen rights. The guy has a right to make the movie he wants. People have a right to see it or not. Leave him alone. He's a creator.
That's right. Universal Studios film adaptation at Five Nights at Freddy's scared up the box office after original creator Scott Cawthon refused to apologize to a woke cancel mob over his political donations to politicians such as Donald Trump or Chelsea Gabbard. Well,
why should he have to apologize? Why should he have to apologize for having? This is the United States of America. My father and everyone else who ever put on a badge or put on a uniform of this country did it so that you could have certain inalienable rights, including the freedom of speech and expression, worship as you please. The people who say that you shouldn't do this, they are deeply un-American. They're fucking communists, and they should shut the fuck up.
And we got a compliment. You guys are very cool. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
We try our best. So,
everyone's cool
Carla,
but me.
all the actors
Everyone's
back to the
cool but me,
animation.
Christy. That's what it is.
Yeah. It's only because he's literate.
I'm an Eskimo. I'm really cool.
There you go. Right. So
that's true. We got representation on this panel.
Exactly. International
We got
representation.
we got Admiral Banana Boat here. We have an Eskimo.
That's right.
I would be Admiral Banana Boat.
A very funny movie, and he defeated Captain America. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
So
that's right.
Anyway, so according to the numbers, the film banked an estimated $78 million domestically in its opening weekend, despite having a day and date release on the streaming service Peacock. Not only did the film gross $78 million domestically, but it pulled in another $52.5 million internationally for a global gross of $130 million. The film reportedly had a budget of $20 million, according to Deadline's. So
that's a good
$20 million. Yeah. Plus, on top of that, with advertising and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Well, if the whole thing was $20 million.
Yeah. Wow.
Exactly. Then they did very, very well.
Very
So,
good. Wow.
Yeah.
This is still under my skin about what they said about these people expressing themselves. When George Washington recaptured New York City from the British, the first thing he did was blanket pardon everyone who talked shit about him and put guards in front of the newspapers that were against him to make sure no one took revenge, because he believed that people should be allowed to express themselves, whether he agreed with them or whether they thought he was cool or not. He subsidized his own hate club. Okay. Americans love diversity of opinion. Fuck you for telling people how to speak.
That's right. Now, for what I do know about this video game, because my kids played it like way back when it first came out and whatnot, and I think it had like maybe 5 releases and
it's
stuff
quite
like that.
popular. It's a quite famous game.
It was very, very popular video game. So, from my understanding, yes, the creator of this video game, he did very well for himself, and I know that this movie was in the work for quite a few years. So, what happened though to make him? Well, eventually he did become a Christian. Okay, because apparently, from his words from making this video game, he was having a lot of nightmares about making this video game. The more every iteration came out, and it did seek him. It did cause him to seek out, faith basically, and eventually he did become a Christian. So, and he went to develop different kinds of video games. So, but this had always been on the back burner, and eventually, as we all know now, this video game was made, and with a budget of only $20 million, the film's break-even point theatrically was 50 million. Given that 78 million hauled domestically, it's clear that the film has made quite a bit of cash for not only Universal but production company Blumhouse.
Wow, Five Nights at Freddy's and the world's your oyster and your ATM. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
Yeah.
And this is the same
That's
Blumhouse
called a profit, Disney.
Exactly. And this is the same Blumhouse that eventually wants to make Spawn. Remember that. Keep that in mind. So, in fact, Blum revealed to Fortune the film had already been profitable for Blumhouse. The outlet Devin Gordon reported Blum is already out way ahead before the film even opens. He declares to share precise figures, but he says the film has more than made back its production costs just from the sale of its streaming and theatrical distribution rights.
I'm still fuming for them telling this guy how to think and feel. Does anybody remember the words of Harry S. Truman? A lot of people don't like a lot of political opinions. So here's what I think everyone should do. Go vote and don't tell anybody. Holy shit, what a great idea. Right? Just vote for who you want. A lot of political opinions are unpopular. Vote for who you want to and just don't tell anybody. Wow.
Exactly.
What an idea.
How about that?
Because it used to be a day and age where you didn't really have to share. That's right.
And who doxed this guy to get his donation list? They check
want
the Trump donation list.
They want these clicks and whatnot and social points. So they go out and tell everybody. Here in Denmark, we have a lot of parties, and I never tell anyone what I vote for. And they ask why I don't, and I said, that's between me and the voting booth.
Yeah.
You have absolutely nothing. Don't even ask me. It's kind of offensive to me.
Yeah, it is.
I find it offensive to be asked who I vote for these days because we're so divided. And I also, it's impossible to defend an independent point of view when you're like, I'm still not sure. I'm thinking about this. It's a big decision. And people are like, well, how can you not jump out for this or that? And I'm like, because I don't have to for like 2 years. Shut up.
Yeah. So the roaring success of Five Nights at Freddy's film adaptation comes in the wake of Scott Cawthon refusing to cave to the woke cancel mob over his political donations to President Donald and Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, among others. Cawthon found himself the ire of the cancel mob when Twitter user I Am Griffinier, who has been suspended, took to the social media website to deride the Five Nights at Freddy's creator as a Christian fundee, as well as someone who supports a crypto fash who's allied with Hindu Tuva militias pushes anti-trans bills and appeared on PragerU. Oh God! Oh
Wow,
no!
that's
He
a
appeared
big
on
mouthful.
deal.
PragerU. Like,
Wow.
seriously.
Dennis Prager isn't even
Ugh.
considered that extreme, is he? Right? He's
No,
sort of
he's
middle of
not.
the road. Not firebrandish at all, and might be like what's left of like Mitt Romney style Republicans.
Yeah.
Am I wrong about that? I don't listen.
And
to
I
a
like
lot
the
of
YouTube. They had Amala. She was good for PragerU, and yeah, they had good
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
says
Surprise everybody! Admiral
quite-
Teague has a political science degree and never watches the news anymore because I'm that sickened by it.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want
Don't
to know
blame
what's
you.
going on. I don't want to know what's going on.
no,
I don't want to know.
no. It's oh God, it's ridiculous. You know,
What
just
can I
because,
do about it?
look, folks, just because somebody says that somebody is something, you know what? And I'm gonna say something here, okay, that will cause you to look up something. Be like the Bereans, okay, and find out if this information be true or not. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Verify it.
So exactly. And if you want to
Read
know
up
who
on
the
your
Bereans
dude,
are,
educate yourself.
that's right. I'll give you a hint.
Uh,
They existed around the time of the Romans. There you go. So
this-
that being said,
this is
Homework
why
for the
my
week.
biggest
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is why my
exactly.
biggest upload on my channel is actually decoding propaganda.
Mm.
I do
Yeah.
Star Trek, but I had to do a decoding propaganda upload so that people could understand how they sell this stuff and lie.
yeah. The user wrote, the professor of critical wraith theory, wrath theory, whatever, wraith theory, tweeted. Turns out Scott Cawthon, well known as the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's and less known as being a Christian fundy, maxed out his political donations to Republican candidates at PAC in 2020. Okay. So what?
Yeah,
So we
exactly.
did.
So, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
So this guy doesn't go to the most recognized church in the world, so now he's a fundy. That's a hateful
You know?
term for someone who just wants. I mean, if you're going to call him misguided, call him that. Don't put down a whole bunch of people with a blanket
Yeah.
term like that. I mean, what does that even include? I don't know what a fundy means. So I go to Catholic church, all right? I go
Apparently
on
Christian
Sundays, right?
It's
fundamental.
fundamentalist. It's like being
so,
a Protestant.
So I'm a
Yes,
papist.
exactly.
I'm not a fundy, right? I'm not a fundy.
Yeah.
I'm a papist. All right. All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
fundies suck then, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. That's a bunch of, let's not go putting people down. Some of these terms are very hateful. I don't like the term
Christianity
fundy. That
is like
wrong.
the one religion that's super safe to attack, mock, and ridicule.
Exactly.
I
So
say
Um,
something, but I'm gonna shut up here.
Ah,
no, go ahead. You
No,
are
go
free to
ahead.
speak your
No,
mind.
no,
You're
I'm
allowed.
just honestly against all
Different-
religions. I hate them all
You're-
equally.
Yeah.
You know what though? But this is the United States of America, and we have freedom of worship and freedom not to worship as you choose. So we don't have a
And-
problem with you saying
and
that here.
freedom
We
of
stand
speech.
for. I think I
Freedom
speak
of
for Mike.
speech
This
to
is a-
talk
oh,
about it or not to talk about it.
Mike, do I have permission to say we speak freely here because we believe in freedom of speech and we don't have to have.
Yeah.
We're not like the woke mob. We can have a diversity of opinion here. You don't have to feel how we feel.
But
About
here's
everything.
here's the wild
Exactly.
thing that I was actually going at. Many of the people that I love a great lot are very religious.
Right.
Even though I hate religions, I love these people, like Mike, like everybody else. I
Yeah.
don't care what they do, what they worship, as long as they are good people.
It's
You know
1
what?
hour
I
of
would-
my week. Leave me alone. You know,
I
it's
would-
1 hour of
I-
my week.
Perfectly
say-
said, Snell. I agree 100% with that. I'm not religious. I was raised Catholic, did the whole thing, but I still have great friends and family that are religious, and I respect that. It's just
Yeah.
my thing. But and Mike, you're one of a dear
Mhm.
friend, and to me,
Yeah.
it's the option, and we have that right to worship or not worship. Same with political parties. If I believe in one,
I
and
go
another
'cause
friend
I
believes
like
in
the
another,
mu-
good for us. It's called freedoms.
Yeah,
But,
just
I
know
go 'cause
that
I
you're
really-
wrong.
I really like the. I go because I really like the music, and I really like being in a room full of people who all are trying to be good people. We might be wrong. I like the prayer where we say we don't know if we're right or not because this whole thing is really, really hard to believe, but we're going to try to live good lives anyway. That's my favorite prayer we say. And
Just
I'm
be
not.
a
I don't
good
consider
person.
myself
That's all that matters.
overly religious. I find going to mass to be therapeutic.
Carla, catch you later. Thank you for being here. Yes, please
Peace out,
catch it on the
Carla.
rewind if you can. I really appreciate you being here. I just want to catch up on questions here. Chrissy asks, can't wait for the Scott Pilgrim anime. Are you guys ready?
I've heard about that. Yeah,
Only if it's
I
as
have
good.
heard about
Wow,
that.
Only if
that's
Yeah.
going to be
It
interesting.
has to be
Yeah.
as good as what we've gotten so far. I don't want it just because it's anime, but yeah.
Exactly. Titan says, very typical. It's okay to attack his religious views since he's a Christian. I wonder if they would have done this or if this would have been an issue if he were, I don't know, say Muslim.
Oh,
Yeah,
it would.
no, they possibly wouldn't because they're protected.
No.
So
Honestly, I'm going to
you
say
know?
this: we treat that religion as though it's a race when it's not. Many people are adherents to it. I would say this: your freedom to worship or not worship as you choose is why every single American soldier ever suited up. So just let's calm down on that one, right?
Exactly.
And if this guy wants to be a Christian, I mean, you're allowed to not see his movie if that's a motivator for you. But I would say if it's a
Yeah.
good movie, why not just go see it and shut up?
Exactly, and just have
A
a
quote
laugh.
on
right?
religion, if you don't mind, just quickly. That's like here.
Yes.
Here in winter, I don't know if you remember, Mike. We used to have the manger in King Square. It's our main square
Yep.
in our city town. They don't allow it anymore. The city thought it was offensive to other religions. They don't have it
Yeah,
anymore. I'm like,
exactly.
that's stupid. It's yeah.
It's
just put
the
a
reason why
Batman
Christmas came about in the
there.
first place.
Yeah.
And then
You
shut
know?
the fuck up.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I am not a religious person. I do have a faith in God and Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a difference between being religious, which is generally, man-led or something like that, rather
Yes,
than
yes.
having a faith
Faith.
in God, which is
Well-
I would rather go directly to the source rather than take somebody's word on what they're preaching, because I would rather educate myself rather than possibly being fooled by another person. Let's just put it that way. Anyway,
So
carrying on, in another post, the user wrote, some people might have been tripped up by this lone Dem on that list, Chelsea Gabbard. But if you look at her politics, the picture becomes clear. She's a crypto fash who's allied with Hindutas militia.
She's not that.
No, she's
This is
not
the-
that.
But let me just tell you the deal with Tulsi Gabbard. Here's the deal, really,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
Tulsi Gabbard is like born into a political family of Republicans, but in Hawaii, Republicans can't get elected. So she switched to being a Democrat, which is why her views never seem to line up. And she was every Republican's favorite Democrat and every Democrat's most hated Democrat until we found people who are even more horrible. She was going to be part of the Trump cabinet, which was, remarkable for a Democrat, and also tells you a little bit about the fact that there was an expediency. And also, you shouldn't go blindly trusting either political party, because we have a Republican who's a Democrat who's a Republican. And in New York City, we have a mayor who knew he wasn't going to get elected as a Republican and just becomes a Democrat. And he's doing the job terribly too. It's just makes everybody look bad. Our system's really in trouble. We need some work.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tulsi is not a fascist. She's a weirdo, and she does love everything Putin says. And I am from a generation where we don't trust the people from where Putin is from. I'm not going to endorse any war against anybody, but I will say I don't find Putin to be a good guy.
But if it's a
Except
default
for
that you
his.
don't trust the country where Putin is from, then you're still perpetuating that state of war and readiness.
Yeah,
That's right.
I am released in that generation, and I apologize for that, and I need to work on it.
However, that being said, I am okay with him wanting to chemically castrate pedophiles. So,
yes,
because we all
Very
remember
hard to
that news
disagree
from
with.
Friday. Exactly. So, in
how
response
do you
to
argue
this
with that
cancellation, Cawthorn wrote on Reddit, I've debated greatly how best to address this, including not addressing it at all. But with so many people from the LGBTQ community in its fan base that I love, that's not an option. I'd like to think that the last 7 years would have given me the benefit of the doubt in regards to how I try to treat people. But there I was, trending on Twitter for being a homophobe, getting doxxed, with people threatening to come to my house. My wife is 6 weeks pregnant, and she spent the last night in fear because of what was being said online. He continued, she has already been struggling with her pregnancy, so seeing her so afraid really scared me. All this because I exercised my right and my duty as an American citizen to vote
Yeah.
for and support for the candidates I felt could best run the country for everyone. And that's something.
Congratulations, leftists. You've sold a handgun. You've sold a hand. It seems to me you've sold a handgun. You've got this guy afraid for his wife. Congratulations, leftists, for making an unbreakable case for gun ownership for this poor man. God.
Yep. Like, just
he makes a movie and they do this. You know, is this what Gina Carrano said? He made a movie. It's going to make more than any Disney movie. It's going to embarrass them because it's going to do well. Did they do this? Did they put this out there? Because this sounds very much like the shit they say, doesn't it?
Paramount.
This sounds like what Gina said KK would say about anyone else.
The same ones that put out the South Park movie. Go ahead, Tom.
The part I'm sick of is using the term homophobe around. What did he say that's homophobic? Did you do anything? I'm in the community and it's a bunch of bullshit. Excuse my language, but it is. And half the people that they claim are not. Just because you're of this political view, you're homophobic. No, stop it.
Well,
it's painting with a very broad brush.
Yes, amen.
It is.
Thank you.
Yes,
I'd say it's actually airbrushing.
Therefore, ergo, you must be homophobe.
It's stupid.
Like,
oh my god,
it is. It's ridiculous. It really is.
Guys, analysis bad. That's the message here.
Yeah.
From there, he explained the reasons why he supported the candidates he did. For Donald Trump, he wrote, I supported President Trump because I felt he was the best man to fuel a strong economy and to stand up for America's and to stand up to America's enemies abroad, for which there are many. Even if there were candidates who had better things to say to the LGBTQ community directly and bigger promises to make, I believe that their stances on other issues would have ended up doing much greater harm to those communities than good. All of this explanation, I fear, is wasted as people don't want to discuss with one another anymore. They want endless apologies and submission. People who are expecting those from me will get neither, he added.
Good for
nothing homophobic said there whatsoever. He just said he wants to actually concentrate on your country's issues, which you should as a president. That other stuff would be done by the communities and the people. He wants to worry about world issues as a president should.
And by the way, the only thing I would say about this is his answer is perfect, and he's allowed. He knows it's in his own. He knows it's in his own heart when he votes. But I would have said to people, "F you for demanding I explain my vote. I'm an American, and I'm not going to tell you. Screw you. I voted for the best person for the job and a story. And every category that I voted for the best person for the job. So F you. F you for asking me to be fascist."
The Titan says leftism is a mental virus and a symptom that is to demonize anyone disagrees with you. Cause it to be that they're evil, not that they have a different point of view or, God forbid, an opinion.
Now, I'm going to correct that one. I said the extreme left because I am classic left, hence the name, but I believe the extreme. They're idiots. I'm sorry. They're idiots. They're morons. They have this. If you don't believe in me, you're homophobe, you're transphobe, you're this. Shut up. No, you're not.
We only condemn extremists. Sorry.
If you want to read a person talking about all these things about the mental virus, go check out a guy by the name of God Saad. G-A-D-S-A-A-D. He is a psychologist, evolutionary psychologist from Cornell. Extremely brilliant guy. I love that guy's threads. And he talks about this mind virus of the woke.
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson brings up points about that as well, actually.
Yeah. Well, he has had conversations with God Saad, and God Saad supported him during the whole C-16 bill. Right?
He did. Yep. Jewish guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jewish guy on top of that. Yeah, he's his sarcasm is
I've heard some.
Oh, it's much to behold.
It was also Joe Rogan.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, but go listen to God Saad. He's really brilliant. I like that guy.
Yeah. Cawthorne continued. I've always been supportive of creators and have tried to treat everyone fairly and treat everyone with dignity and respect. I've never cared about anyone's race, religion, gender, or orientation. I just treat people as people, everyone the same. And
Right
because of
there.
that, I've ended
Yep.
up with a very diverse group of people that I've worked with over the years. It wasn't intentional, it just happened that way. I choose people who are best for the job. I treat everyone the same, and I ended up with people from all walks of life in my professional life and my personal life as well. That's the way it should be. That's the way
Yeah.
I want it to be. That's the way I will continue to be.
If I may
I'm a
interrupt,
About that.
Republican.
he's using common sense.
Yeah. Common
Yes,
sense.
I
I'll just say
I'm a Republican. I'm a Republican. I'm a Christian. I'm pro-life. I believe in God, he declared. I also believe in equality and in science and in common sense. Despite what some may say, all of those things can go together. That's not an apology or promise to change. It's the way it's always been. Full
and my
stop.
movie made money, so
Perfectly
I'll make
said.
another. So go piss up a rope.
Exactly. Perfectly said.
Yep.
Nothing homophobic there. Nothing wrong. Just wow. Bravo to him. You know.
Yep.
Ugh.
But I mean, this is the thing, okay? Like, just because you're on the quote unquote right, or you happen to be conservative, or Republican, or for that matter, just a Christian, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't automatically mean that they will go around bashing you for what you believe in. It's nothing, has nothing to do with that whatsoever. It just means that, okay, these are your beliefs, and if that's what you believe in, then fine. I'm not gonna push my beliefs onto you, but I will respect your beliefs and what you have. But I don't expect you to push what you have onto me either. It doesn't mean I'm a pushover.
I'll add on to that quickly. I won't use names, but I have a friend. She's the
Yep.
head of a choir in a Catholic church. She's openly a lesbian, but they love her because she's accepted. She's a good person and stuff. Like, yeah, no, that doesn't mean anything. She's a good
Catholicism
person.
starting to back off that whole thing and letting
You know,
people
and-
just kind of live their lives as long as they don't hurt anybody seems to be the
Well,
new
that's
thing.
because
Be
they're
a
very
good-
unpopular, so they kind of have to do that.
Well, she's been like that for years, though. They've been a good, and like she's known the priest since growing up as well, even before. So they knew who she was, and but yeah, it's accepting of just being a good person, good morals, good.
Snail's correct too, though. Yeah, the Catholic Church sort of has been on.
Yeah, they are
a
opening up on
self-embar-
that. Yeah,
They're on a 1,000-year self-embarrassment tour for the last like 40 or 50 years. They've slowly been getting with it, and this last pope, people don't like him, but I think he gets misquoted a lot, and he would pray for those people. But he has done the right thing by saying, "Hey, we're sorry about this and that huge f up."
yeah, we messed
can't
up.
ever
Yeah, he did.
We
Yeah.
can't undo it, but I'll come to where we did this bad thing, and I'll say I'm sorry, and I will pray over the place where our people did something wrong. And you need to hear it from me. Fine, I'll say it, and I give him I look up to the pontiff for that amount of integrity. He can't change what happened. It's terrible what happened, but he's at least taking accountability.
The past is the past. You can't
And
change
there's an
it.
American
but acknowledging
there's an
it is-
American
yeah.
flag. There's
Move
an American
on.
flag in every Catholic church in this country.
Yep. He then stated, if I get canceled, then I get canceled. I don't do this for the money anymore. I do it because I enjoy it. If people think I'm doing more harm than good now, then maybe it's better that I get canceled and retired. I could accept that. I've had a fulfilling career. Besides, most things that people can take from you are things that never had that much value to begin with. I always loved and will continue to love this community and its fan base, even if someday it doesn't include me anymore, he concluded. There you go.
Wow.
Yep.
I feel bad for him because one of the things he got hit with out of context was like, you know about this comic gate, Gamergate thing, which means you're a nistophobe and people are going to hate you just because you made the game. And he's like, wait, what? Because we've seen people taking out a lot of shit on the Spider-Man 2 game reviewers just because they're playing a game that got a bad rap. Somebody wakes up one day, calls the game woke. You're going to burn someone at the stake because they played the game? They're saving you money. You can see for yourself if it sucks and then go buy it. As far as I'm concerned, that Spider-Man game
actually looks like a good game. So
the story ain't so great when you have to play as MJ for like 15 minutes, but it looks like for the most part it was like the best version of a Spider-Man game when you're playing a Spider-Man, which seems to be 90% of the time.
Yeah,
I love watching people's playthroughs.
You can actually be Venom at one point too, I guess. So I was like,
for a while. You fight him for a while. Alphion was mixing it up with Venom for a while last night. It was awesome.
Titan says science versus religion is a lie that materialists propagated in the mid 1800s. Yeah, that's true. The core of modern science is deeply rooted in Judeo-Christian values. Yeah,
Stephen Hawkins talked about that at one point.
There's an observatory
and stuff about
there's an
religion
observatory.
and science.
There's an observatory at the Vatican. All right, they believe in science.
A lot of the great scientists of the past were Bible-believing Christians.
But as for the game, I'm looking. The game is a brilliant game.
Algebra.
But the movie is PG-13. A lot of people wanted a rated R version, so there's still rumors that the Blu-ray might have a rated R hidden. That's still rumored because it is a horror game. The game itself is not for kids, but I'm still going to check it out. I'm looking forward to watching it. So it looks good.
So as we eventually land this plane, I just want to mention again to everybody that's in the chat there, if you can, so I can hopefully pretty soon get monetized there. If you guys, because this show will be added on to the whole docket of shows that you can watch. If you want to go ahead and just let it play so the hours go up or whatever, I would greatly appreciate it, because like I said, I will do a a little contest and quiz all of you guys in the chat, or if you happen to be watching it on the rewind, I will be quizzing you to see if you guys have been watching the show, because whoever gets the most right answer.
Carl even mentioned it. Leave it on in the background if you have to, but still let it watch it. You know?
There's a guy
Crazy.
there.
It's already been 2 hours.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this was a great show. It went fast.
Yeah.
Just look in your private chat, please.
I shall. Oh, okay.
It was a good one. It was a
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will. Yeah. So I will say thank you to everybody that showed up today. I want to say thank you to Chim the Enchant. Why can't? Oh God! You know what? Ever since I did that, Carmen, it's just my tongue is just blah, 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 blah.
I just want to say Tim the Enchanter that was here today, and Killer Rabbit from Space. He was so cool, even though he just ate Tim the Enchanter. That was just like this. God damn it! Don't eat him, Timmy! Anyway, I want to say I want to say Gab after Dark. He was so cool being here, and Wendy, Trapper Warrior, that was also here also as well. And Ledrod, even though you had to go to work, I appreciate you being here as well. And Franco Walker, I don't know if that service interfering with the broadcast, but I hope you read it and just watch it later on in the show. It'd be so cool if you do that. So, Rocco the Brave. Also, I'm saying you are just mighty Rocco. It's just so cool. So, Accidental here as well. So thank you very, very much. And God, I can't do that for long. Ray Lucard also that was here, and of course Neil Messiah, who's also on the panel in this chat, that was here as well. And as I try, and my chat just went blank for a second there, but I know that Canadian Spider-Man was also here as well. Pops that also has his channel with Talk Hard, which eventually he told me that doing that comic that we were going to do together, the what was it, the Change, that Whoopi Goldberg comic, apparently has been delayed.
That one.
Yes, that one. Apparently that's been delayed till next year. God, I can't imagine.
Darn, I actually want to see
it. I know. So, he was here in the chat. Ray Lucard. I do believe I did mention him as well. And Dadman Walking. Woo to Dadman Walking. Thank you, Dadman. And congrats to you to almost like 500. So if any of you have not checked out Dadman Walking, go check out his channel. He is a load of laughs.
Very fun. Very fun and great co-hosts.
Yep. Carla Burton, everybody's favorite Kiwi that was here also as well. Carla, thank you for showing up. And Anti-Derivative Jill was here in the chat. Thank you, Jill, for showing up. Greatly appreciate it. And also, apparently our new subscriber, Christy, that also joined as well.
Hey
So
there.
Christy, so you know what, Christy, when the new anime of Scott Pilgrim comes out, we will cover it. If it is good or bad, don't know, but we will cover it, Christy. Thank you very much for subscribing as well. The Titan also showed up. Thank you, Titan, for being here. Really, really appreciate it, guys. All of you. And Yosef made it just in the nick of time. This was better than watching the Appions snooze fest.
Yeah, you owe Appion an apology for what you said. You owe Appion an apology,
Okay.
Joseph, and shame on you. And stay the fuck off my channel.
And Joseph Schwartz sign Captain America pose. I can do this all day.
The fact that
Okay.
you would want to is
Big
kind
Meg
of weird.
100? What happened?
Yeah.
What happened? I'll answer that
I-
question. YouTube's full
I
of
don't
shit.
know.
They took the subs back. I made 500 and they took them back. That's how it
Yeah.
works. If you tell
Yeah,
the
that's
truth,
what
and you
happened.
make
That's
it clean,
crazy.
everybody
Yeah.
here saw it. Everyone here saw it go up. Everyone here
Yep.
saw it go down. It wasn't a hallucination. That's called salary control, but that's the way it goes. So I'll
Yeah.
answer that question. But you know
Because-
what? Burning a game reviewer at the stake for the game, you saved $70 and you cursed the person out. You know what? You got a trash opinion. I have contempt for what you did. You owe that person an
I mean,
apology.
that's happened to me.
You should probably leave him alone.
I've had 5 subs only to lose them like, I don't know, like the next day. It's really weird what YouTube is doing.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a game review here
I had
for you.
125
Don't
in an
buy-
hour.
Don't buy that game from Bethesda that I don't want to say the name of. Starfield.
Yeah, Starfield's not so great either. You know what? I'll say this
Nah,
quickly about
we-
Starfield.
I'll get in a $20 bin someday. Maybe.
Very, very,
Yeah,
very
here we
quickly
go.
about
Yeah.
Starfield. When you walk up to talk to someone, you have 4 options. You might as well ask all 4 questions. It has no effect on anything. No question has any effect on what they eventually ask from you.
I'm
And then
actually
you
playing
shoot
Skyrim
them
right
back.
now, so I went back
Fucking
to
bullshit. I was like, I have no autonomy, and I don't know where my goddamn apartment is in this stupid game where I have to sleep once in a while. Go back to my ship and sleep. Fuck it.
So that being said, Teague, you got anything else planned this week?
Hey, my name's Admiral Teague. I think that we'll probably watch Battlestar Galactica on Thursday afternoon. You know, this time I'm not going to run into a buzzsaw with the Critical Drinker and Latchcomb. I'm going to try to wait till they're over. Maybe closer to 4 or 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But the one thing I do want to just really quickly pitch, you can like my channel or not, but the one thing you could do if you are a citizen of the United States of America, if you want to, I do not that's my channel, but I do not handle this money. Disabled American Veterans helps veterans of Americans' wars, especially those affected by the effects of things like burn pits and Agent Orange. 50,000 Americans died in Vietnam. 300,000 have died of exposure to Agent Orange. Since this is a good organization that has been vetted, we have had veterans on my program verify it. This money does not go to me. Do your own diligence, please. Have a safe and happy Halloween. We love you all.
Yep.
Wow.
Like After
Cool.
Dark says, yeah. Happy Halloween. So
No, we
I'm
definitely
sorry.
look
As we
after
go
the
into
vets. They
November, I
deserve
felt
to
moved.
look after and take care of. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. As
Yeah.
we move into November, where we remember our military, I felt moved to say that. It gets me a little
that's
emotional.
right.
It's still raw for me. Been
No,
really-
I
wasn't that long
100%
ago.
back that. There's
Sorry,
sentiments
guys. Wasn't that
100%.
long ago for me.
no, all good. The classic geeky leftists. What do you got?
Not much
Teague?
going on. Just stay tuned. Again, we're rebirthing a new channel. No more Foggy Brain, so no more Foggy Bottom. He doesn't exist. It's
no.
just me,
I
myself,
like
and
that
I.
guy.
I know.
Rebranding. Rebranding is
Ted
the thing.
exists. Ted might show up on the channel once in a while. We'll wait and see. We all know Ted, wink, wink, and maybe Toby, the talking dragon. But besides that, yeah, just stay tuned. New things in development. We might be getting a new mic, a boom arm, and starting the
Oh,
channel
cool.
up, doing stuff like this. So stay
Oh,
tuned.
very cool.
There we go.
One of my
By the way,
co-hosts-
Mike, once you
Yes.
get that comic, if you and Pop are going to do it, you should do a read along. I don't know if that can be done.
we are.
Scan each of the channels, do a
You
read along,
can,
and
you
I would
can.
love to join
We
on
are.
that one. I want to
Oh
definitely
yes, no,
join on.
that's the whole plan with Pop.
Oh,
so-
that's just going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
so.
By the way,
Because we were
anyone
going to do
planning
it with
on-
we were going to do it with Super Trans, but apparently that went about the wayside. So yeah, we're definitely going to do it with the change.
And actually, as Teague mentioned before, too, I think a watch along for Robin Hood is a must. It definitely has to be done.
I'm
I
doing
do
this with or
think-
without you, Mike. I'd rather do it with you.
Yeah, get
Okay.
the hours, and I'll join in on
Definitely.
that one.
I-
I've seen
Yeah,
it.
that
Oh,
could
gosh.
be fun.
We're gonna watch
painfully
bad and
fun.
good TV on
It's so bad.
my channel's getting together and having a watch party for uploads later, and we're gonna watch bad and good TV. We'll watch bad first and good later, so that people can get
Okay.
their brains together.
If I definitely have the time, because now that I'm just waiting for the garage, because I'm
Mike, if you
getting
have to
my
wake up
break-
at 2 a.m. for us to watch this as an upload and then put it on your channel, I'll get up at 2 a.m.
because here's the thing, and normally I don't say a lot about what's going on in my personal life, but because right now I'm getting my brakes fixed. I got to get the money together for that. Plus, on top of that, being kind of laid off from job number 2, and then getting this whole unemployment with medical leave. I'm trying to make things
Yeah.
work with getting an income in at the store
Well,
as well, because
Good
I
luck
just found
with
it.
all that.
Yeah, I
Unemployment
just
in Canada takes forever to get. So
exactly, because I
Yeah,
found
yeah.
out kind of how much I'm getting, and it's not going to be enough to basically pay the rent at where I'm living plus the shop. So I'm also doing a little bit of overtime with that, of figuring things out. But and don't get me wrong, I totally 100% want to. There's just a lot of things also going on right now too. So just to let you know, yeah. And I'm sorry to bring that up live. I don't know why I did that live. Anyway,
No, it's all right.
Snail Messiah, you got anything to plug, dude?
I actually do. Sometimes
Okay.
we need a little bit of antidote from watching Loki, which Admiral Teague makes me watch, you fucking asshole.
I'm such a sadist. It's the fucking truth.
You are.
We watch a show that I recommended, and it's called The Almighty Johnsons. And it is very respectful about Norse mythology.
What
And I
else?
think everybody should go watch
Yeah.
that. We do a watch along. It's evergreen, and if you want to, please come
It's
and join us.
available on Amazon. Yeah, you can watch the show for free on Amazon if you have Prime, and they're dealing with pretty much the same pantheon of as Loki, but they're handling it so much better. And it's the same thing. It's happening like right around modern time. So this compared to what we see on the Loki show, worlds apart. And this is our first Almighty Johnson's review. It did all right. We're going to throw up another one there just to give people quality, and also because it's hard on my team to watch so much Drek, except Robin Hood. We fucking loved watching that. That was fucking great.
It was
Fucking
better
trash
than
fire,
Loki.
guys. It was
Better
better
than
than Loki. It's better than Loki in 2 ways. Yeah, it was better made.
Well, I'm
The
tempted
sets
to
are
give it
better
a
on
watch
Loki.
now.
You're invited. You want to pass? We're doing it next.
I won't have
And-
time in the next few hours, but yeah,
And pop out. Oh my god!
exactly.
I know that
Pop
guy.
out to Republic. Yes, pop out to Republic. When you have
Yeah,
your name,
it's easy for you to say.
That's right. God damn it!
No, new stuff coming from me as well. I'm pretty much a part-time YouTuber, so once this crazy month is over with, I should have more free time to get back into the swing of things. More videos, more live streams, definitely a coming.
Are you saying you're a swinger?
Yeah,
Yes.
no comment.
Okay. Well then.
Yes.
I
So,
thought you
how
were
do
gonna
I
keep on-
follow up with that? I mean,
Yeah, exactly, right. No.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
basically, guys, you know what? Everybody there out there in the chat, and from all of us guys here on the panel, all of you out there, please have a safe and happy Halloween. Get as much candy as you can into those big, giant, huge garbage bags. Yes, I'm encouraging
Woof.
garbage bags because you know what? That should do you for an entire year. So
Oh,
Are you sponsored by a dentist by any chance?
I should be. So considering how much
Yeah,
they make,
socialized
Diabetes
healthcare.
Association.
so yes, I do. So
I have a story about that.
I bet you do.
Comrade Trudeau fixes his teeth.
You
Yo,
want a story?
do we have time to do it live? I don't know.
It's 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Okay,
Do it,
fine.
do it.
Okay.
I'm a volunteer patient at the University of Dentistry here in Copenhagen.
Okay.
So every half year I go in and they check out my mouth for a student. Well, students do it. It's part of the exam. And one time I was complaining, they usually have a sandwich for you after. So I was complaining I didn't get my sandwich. And I get very insistent, and I'm a big guy, so they were a bit worried. And the day after, they gave me 2 pounds of chocolates.
Oh my God. Really? Dang.
2 pounds.
2 pounds.
Wow. I love your dentist.
But they were, it's job security.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, of course, right? Or you're the lab rat. So that being said, thank you, chat, for joining in. Yes, watch all the shows if you can. Subscribe to these fine gentlemen right here on this channel. We will see you on Friday for Frantic Fridays. And so from everybody here on this panel to all of you guys out there, happy Halloween.
Friday.
And we will see you on Friday. So long, guys.
Happy
Later, all.
Halloween. We wish everybody a safe and fun day. If you have kids, take them out if you can. Have a fun time.
Exactly.
Go out trick-or-treating with them. Put on a non-Star Wars, non-MCU costume and have a good time.
And on top of that, don't lead them down.
There you go.
And just don't lead them down any dark alleys. Don't lead them down any dark alleys. So
don't be a jackass. Don't be a
chase
jackass. Check on that candy.
Don't chase them.
Exactly.
Don't look into the storm drain for too long.
But me and him. When next we meet in Frankenstone, don't come alone.